Hello and welcome to episode 118 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
I am also joined by Drumblebee. Yeah, take it away, boy. That's my rap.
Good.
Bip 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 bip. But
Good.
as in drummer, but
You sounded like the.
I sounded like I was lagging in real life.
I thought you were
my
trying
ping
to.
shot up to 4,000.
I thought you were trying to scat.
So I think my brain might have done as well, but then I was like, wait a minute here. Drummer Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I daren't ask you.
Well, I mean, I think I've just given you some ample evidence that I
Ample.
am not okay. I literally had like 4 hours sleep.
Oh.
So yeah, but no, I'm okay. It's nice to be doing a podcast with you again.
What are you saying that like it's a hostage situation?
Yeah.
No reason.
Just read from the script, damn it.
Okay. What the fuck did you just say to me, you little bitch? I'll have you know, I graduated top of my class in the US Navy.
Is this the point when I have to like mention that we should try and not swear in the first few minutes of the podcast because it gets demonetized easier?
I'll beep it like very gently, just for the first like 5 minutes.
It's
Okay.
fine. It's in like the first 30 seconds, so it's fine.
Okay.
I guess actually we do have the music at the start, so we get out of most of that.
Yeah, so we're very lucky.
We're very lucky. We just have to avoid swearing in the first 10 seconds.
Okay, now that you've said that, my brain is going to be doing everything in its power, and I use the term power very loosely here, to break that
Yeah.
subconsciously.
Okay, just do not say fuck and or bugger in the intro of the podcast.
You know, next podcast, I'm literally go, fuck and bugger off. This is the MisanthroPod.
That's the new intro.
Fucking bugger off. Time to do a fuck and a bugger off.
I'm alright as well, by the way.
I asked you.
I wanted to ask, but I'd asked Snipe, but she'd already asked me, so I was like, well, there's no one left to ask you with. I'm very sorry.
Hello and welcome to episode 108 of the MisanthroPod. I am Snipe and all is normal.
You're
Shall
10
we get
episodes
to-
off, but that's fine. Let's get on with it.
Shall we just do the podcast now?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Wibblet.
Hey.
What have you been up to, sweets?
I've been up to a couple of things.
Like what? Describe them to me.
I will. That is what we've been doing in this podcast for now 118 episodes.
Well, no, it's not. 118 isn't finished yet, so technically it's only 117.
Okay, I believe we've had this same
Yeah,
pedantic argument in a previous episode.
Don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm pretty original.
I'm gonna start talking now about.
You haven't stopped talking.
Yeah, well, I was going to start talking about the subject at hand.
Okay.
So things that I have been doing. So I have been playing a couple of video games. I started.
Excuse me? What's one of them?
I don't know. New fad.
Nothing special.
I started a new run of New Vegas. Because I just felt like playing a sort of themed run.
Ooh, what's your theme?
Trying to like find the stuff that I didn't previously do.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when I played through it the first time, like from start to finish, and I went back so I could try all the endings just out of curiosity. But
Yeah, of course.
but obviously there's a lot that I missed because it's a huge fucking game, and there's a lot of things just hidden, just if you want to happen upon them. So I decided to try and find some of the, I actually looked some of that stuff up this time so I can try and find where to get it. But I'm playing a character that is a melee character for one, that specializes in power fists.
Yeah.
Because I decided that what I was going to do was my character is whenever they see the Legion, they are overwhelmed with the desire to punch them. And that is how I have played through the entire game. Even when it makes it harder, is whenever I see a Legion person, I punch them. When you find them in Nipton, it took me a while to kill them because I didn't have a power fist at that point.
So you just had to go through just pounding them with your bare meat.
I think I had to like throw dynamite at them. It was the only way to deal with them because they're quite powerful and you're quite weak at that point. And then when you've dealt with Benny and got the platinum chip, and the guy is sent to you from the Legion to say, "We've forgiven all of your crimes. Come visit Caesar." Of course, I killed him.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Fallout New Praxis.
Yeah, and so it's. Yeah, like at this point I'm supposed to go see Caesar, but the Legion hate me too much, so that's interesting.
Well, then go and bomb their camp to the fucking ground.
I need to find out how you get there if they hate you. I need to figure that out, because when I got to that point in the game before, I wasn't doing that, so yeah. Also, I made my character bisexual, which was a weirdly validating thing to do.
That's really
I found
cool.
out. Because you can...
How do you make a character bisexual?
Well, there's perks that you can take with your characters, which are... If you're playing as a female character, which I am, which is Black Widow, which means you get romance dialogue options...
For men.
When you're talking to male characters, but you also get 10 plus 10% damage.
Oh,
as well.
Hence
and
Black Widow.
There's one called, I think, Cherchez la Femme, I think it's called.
Okay. I like the woman, I guess. I speak French.
Looking
I think,
for the woman.
Yeah, it's like look for the woman. It's basically
for the woman.
It's like there's always a woman behind it thing. It's a saying.
Is it like a trope?
It's a French saying that we don't have.
Oh, okay. I see.
But that makes your character have the same, but for women. So I have made, but if you can take both of them, which you can just do, that means that your character is both canonically and mechanically bisexual.
Oh, the gamers won't like that.
Which I was like, oh yeah, you can do that. That's really cool. And I was like, yeah, I really want to do that. And so I did it. And yeah, it's cool. Although granted, all I've really used it for so far is to find out that it's possible to fuck Benny.
Yeah, you showed him your Charlies, you nasty gal.
Yeah.
I'm quoting.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, Jimmy them Charlies, gal.
I'm also siding with the NCR this time because my first time, my prime sort of way was going the wild card ending. Because the achievement for doing that is called No Gods, No Masters. So shock horror. I picked that one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm actually explicitly going for the NCR one. So I'm seeing different content, and I've got Veronica as my companion, and I've just done her little side quest of going to the Brotherhood and sorting that out. So yeah, I've been seeing a whole lot more of the game, and I've been really enjoying it. I played a bit of it on stream yesterday at the time of recording, which yeah, that was fun. Yeah, New Vegas is still pretty good, even if it occasionally breaks really bad.
It's a Bethesda game. Well, I mean...
It's it's a game that was made with not enough time and has too much content on an engine that was never good.
Yeah, very, very true.
That's a box quote right there.
Yeah. It's like, I put it into the same bracket as games like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines and Pathologic, of games that you have to just learn to deal with the foibles of how it works, because it's
like The Witcher 1. It's like the mechanics are jank, but the story is so good. You're like, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's a learning curve. You gotta earn that game.
But yeah, I've obviously talked a shitload about New Vegas in the past, so I won't talk anymore about that. I've also started playing Satisfactory.
How are you finding it?
I saw on Twitter. Yes.
Yeah, if people listening aren't aware, Satisfactory is a game that can be best described as Factorio, but in first person. So
first person-o.
That was one of those puns you do that aren't actually puns.
What? I genuinely can't remember what I just said.
It's okay, honey. It's okay. Don't worry.
I think I should be worried.
It's okay. You can go and have a good long sleep after this.
Okay, I'm gonna doodle some Kirby's.
Yeah, draw some Kirby's. That'll. It's all right.
I'll get my colouring book out.
Anyway, yeah, Satisfactory. It's like Factorio, but in first person.
Sorry, it's a really silly looking Kirby.
Very, very good. Very good.
I shouldn't have drawn such a good Kirby. What have I done?
This is an audio medium.
I drew a really good Kirby, y'all. Seriously, if you saw this Kirby, you would have to immediately engage in hand-to-gland combat. This is so hot. It's great.
I'm going to talk about Satisfactory now. Okay.
Do you like my Kirby, though?
It's very good.
Is it satisfactory?
It is satisfactory. Oh. So the idea is you've been sent to a planet and you have to exploit its resources. Which is a horrifying thing when you think about it, but very satisfying to do in a video game.
Doing a colonialism. It's fine in video games.
If you want a very good exploration of that, there is a video on Dan Olsen's channel, which is called Folding Ideas. The channel's called Folding Ideas. But he's got a video which I think is called something like "Oops, I accidentally did a colonialism in Minecraft."
Yeah,
and that's
a really good video.
It's a really good video talking about this stuff. So I don't have to talk about it right now. Mm-hmm. Go watch that instead. Listen to the rest of this podcast first, and then go watch it.
Yeah, then like, comment, subscribe,
and
like retweet, reblog, tickle my balls,
fondle the bell, whatever you need to do. But anyway, yeah. So you drop down this planet, and you have to, so you start off like. Building like little like automatic mines that like dig up ores for you, and then you like have them put them into smelters, and then you start building like things that can automatically produce things. And you
it's just how you and Matt play fucking Minecraft.
Yes.
Until Dicko comes in and punches a hole in one of your redstone blocks and doesn't say anything for 2 weeks.
Yeah. It's all conveyor belts, and it's there's not really much to say about it.
It's one of those games where the overall objective is you don't have to play it anymore.
Yeah,
and
basically
they're the best.
There's something amazing about it. It's really annoying that getting
honestly, you two are too English to function. Like, oh yes, I'm a well-oiled machine.
It really annoys me that like the specific mods I really like mod packs for Minecraft I really loved don't really exist anymore, and I can't remember the specific name because it's a variant of Tekkit, but at this point there's about 50 variants.
Well, I mean, what do you remember? Maybe somebody's like got
there's too much. There's too much. They're all intertwined with a million different things.
Oh,
It'd be really. It would take me about half an hour. So
I remember the Chocobo mod you had.
I think
you'd wake up and you'd hear a hoo-hee-hoo, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I think that was Hexit.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was quite fun.
There's fucking Chocobos everywhere, and you could ride them, and it was legit. They were so cute.
I bred a gold one, and I named it after you.
Yeah. Oh. He called it Buttface. He did not.
But yeah, no. Satisfactory's kind of great. It's less sprawling than like Factorio, because Factorio gets ridiculous the size of your factories, and because it's in 3D and the way you have to deal with it has to be a little bit smaller scale. It's still a lot, and I am sitting there going like, I don't know how this runs smoothly on a machine. Like there's so much that's being generated and moved around. This is ridiculous. Like there's some wizardry going off in the background to make this not just instantly make my PC catch fire. So yeah, I've played about 5 hours of it so far, and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to play another 50 and just not even think about it. It's great.
Sounds like me in the long dark.
Yeah, that kind of thing. What else? Oh yeah, a couple of TV shows, which is I've been watching. Well, I'll lead you through the path that I went to because it's not straightforward. So I've not really watched much Marvel stuff for quite a while because I got to Endgame. I watched that and I was like, you know what? this is a good place to just stop caring about the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I think they really did the whole kind of capitalism commodifies everything. Like, oh shit, let's give everyone a fucking movie. Oh yeah, well we're gonna have so much money, it's gonna be like, whoa, which is actually the conversation how it went.
It is exactly,
yeah,
I believe
verbatim.
so. In the Disney/Marvel boardroom,
they call it Darvel.
And everyone hates it, but they keep doing it.
No, this is a company secret. They call it Darvel, so that the magic man who lives in the cupboard can't hear them. The guy who eats all the crisps from that video you showed me on YouTube.
One specific video about the
video.
man who lives in the cupboard.
Doesn't he hate hula hoops or something?
You got any pom bears?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like hula hoops are fucking legit. Like how can you fucking hate hula hoops? And pom bears, I'm gonna be honest, they are the subpar.
I'm gonna be honest. This is a fucking mess.
I'm a mess.
Let's move on from this.
Okay.
Pom
bears still suck though.
So anyway, I kind of I jumped off. I think the only thing I'd really watched since watching Endgame was I did watch Thor Ragnarok.
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was told that was Because I just hadn't.
Taika Waititi is a fucking genius, and I can't wait to see him direct a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Holy shit!
And I also watched Black Panther a little bit ago.
Because
I just hadn't got around to it. But I not really paid attention to stuff. But I decided on a whim to watch Captain Marvel because I hadn't seen it. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's got some parts I really liked. I like the whole dealing with Nick Fury before he was Nick Fury.
When he was just Nicholas Anger. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, and that was kind of fun. Well, I'd put Captain Marvel is one of those Marvel movies where you go, well, it's no Thor Ragnarok, but it's no Thor: The Dark World. So
yeah,
it's totally fine. But then when I watched that, I was like, actually, I'm in a mood to watch another Marvel thing, and I was like, oh, that WandaVision show's just come out. So I decided to start watching WandaVision.
Okay.
Because it's like one division and also visions in it.
It is also Wanda and Vision.
And it's also Wanda's vision.
Now, from all the adverts and stuff, I was like, so this looks like it's getting into sort of M-Day territory.
Which are comics that you've actually read, because that's when I was still collecting X-Men comics religiously.
Yes, I'm always grateful when they make movies of the few comic book arcs I've actually read. And that's one that I have. So I was like, oh, and it's not really that, but it's borrowing elements from a few different things.
I mean, it's a good story, so
yeah. But I'm not gonna spoil anything from it because
I need to watch it, and everyone on Twitter is fucking spoiling it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Google fucking autocomplete spoiled a bit for me.
Oh, good.
Because I just literally was like, I opened up my phone and it was like, hey, do you want to search for this? And I'm like, wow, thanks, you prick. Like the episode had just fucking aired, and I was like, wow, I hate you, Google, for so many more reasons now.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's the way it starts off is the first episode, which I'll happily talk about the first episode without going into other stuff. It's basically like a 50s sitcom, and it's pretty much just a half hour of what if Wanda and the Vision had a 50s sitcom.
I love it,
and that's just pretty much it. But there's little bits that show there is more to it in that first episode, people acting a bit wrong.
Well, I mean,
and
it's gonna be a bit fucky.
Yeah,
so
and
that is cool.
It does a really good job of matching the style of time periods because minor spoilers, but the time period that this the sitcom is occurring in changes.
Yeah,
and each thing. They match the cinematography of those shows from that era.
That's so cool.
And it matches the way things look and the type of humor that was in them.
Does the aspect ratio of it change? So you're watching in like 4:3 or whatever.
Ooh, that'd be...
Yes, on the early ones, it's 4:3. Although they do cheat, and by the time it hits the, I think by the time it hits the 70s, it goes to a modern aspect ratio, which
Right.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
it's basically when it's black and white, it's in 4:3.
Yeah,
is
okay.
the basic gist.
Okay, yeah.
But even like the special effects are like most of them are done practically, so there's a lot of smash cuts to make people like change clothes or whatever, like magically.
That's super
or
cool.
like things being moved around on strings, things like that. And like all that stuff. And one thing that is really good is like it'll be shot like an appropriate sitcom of the time, but then when something happens to allude to other things going off, it will then change to modern cinematography.
So it'll feel subtly wrong.
Yeah, so it's
that's
still,
cool.
so it's still, so like it still looks the same, like in the cameras and everything, but you notice a different style of direction.
That's really clever.
Like it suddenly becomes more, it suddenly becomes shot like a modern cinematic kind of like shooting kind of, and it's like that's really cool. It's actually something that made me really appreciate that, like, there's a lot to be said about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like, about its domination over things and how there's problems.
Marvel is a bit of a monopoly.
Yeah, and, like, how it glorifies things, but there is one of the upsides of having, like, such a grand, sprawling thing, is that it does mean that they can occasionally just do weird shit and it not, like...
Yeah.
be a problem, because WandaVision is weird, but it's not like that's the entire thing. It's not gonna like ruin anything, because it's just this small thing off in the corner.
So you're praising the Marvel Cinematic Universe for doing something that comics have had to do and been able to do because the universes within them are so fucking sprawling and all-encompassing. Yeah. Which is quite funny how, like, art imitates different art.
Yeah.
But and it's like, there's so many, like, what-if comics and like, especially within just, like, I mean, fucking just within the X-Men, it's like, what if Wolverine was never deprogrammed? What if Stan Lee was, like, Doctor Doom? Like, shit like that. Or, like, there literally is a Stan Lee fucking...
Don't I have, like, the If Stanley Met Doctor Doom comic or something?
I think you do, yeah. And it's like all these stupid fucking things that are actually fucking great, because it really... Because when it's so sprawling, you can just go, oh, this fucking weirdo that, like, has written a story that contains Hank McCoy, and he goes to Genosha and raises llamas, or fucking whatever, and it's like... You can tell those stories because it's not such a fierce fucking grip on it. And it's like, so there is I do appreciate that, but also they should just let art exist.
Yeah.
But it's the thing, it's a double-sided, like, blade, so...
On the one hand, it would be nice if we could have more things that weren't the same 8 superheroes, but...
That weren't safe because they're spending $10 million fucking dollars on a wig or whatever.
But it does mean occasionally they go, oh, well, we've got all this, so we can do a weird thing in the corner, and that's fine. And that's, it's an interesting one. It's one of those things where it's always fun to see a kind of thing you haven't seen before, and I've not really seen this done, because it does some other things, and there's a couple of things it does that I will not spoil or even allude to, but, like, yeah, they're very cool.
Cool.
So yeah, check out WandaVision if you're at all interested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, although...
I'm just interested in Marvel characters, actually.
It does contain spoilers for... what was the name of the one before?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
The one before Endgame. I always forget what its actual name is. Infinity War, that's the one.
That's the one, yeah.
I wish they'd just go back to numbers. I understand numbers.
Yeah. It does contain spoilers for Infinity War and Endgame, so if for some reason you're into Marvel and haven't seen those, then watch those first. Speaking of which, after I'd watched the episodes, because they're up to episode 5 now, and once I'd run out of episodes, I was like, oh, my dad said Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has some cool stuff, and then I watched about 4 episodes of it, and I was like, I can't watch any more of this.
It's like Riverdale with X-Men characters.
No, it's... I was watching it and going, this is watching, like, a poor imitation of early 2000s Joss Whedon, and then I looked, and then Joss Whedon was involved in the writing of the first episode, and I was like, oh god, he was writing a bad imitation of himself 10 years later.
Maybe he needed a new deck or something.
I don't know.
Isn't it his brother that's like the showrunner or something, or someone who's linked to him? I used to know, and now I've forgotten. But
nepotism.
Possibly. I am trying to not think about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. any more than that now.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, like, because I watched a little bit of it with you because you were like, this has to be seen to be believed. Seen to be believed.
Oh.
Seem it to believe it. Fuck. And I watched a bit, and obviously it did some permanent damage in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, bad. And it was like, okay, this feels like it's for kind of like teen audiences. But then there's elements of it that are really not for teens, and then there's elements of it that feel like it's for people way younger. It's really weird. I'm like, where are you aiming with this? Like,
yeah. Apparently it does get better, but I'm also the sort of person that doesn't like to like skip ahead.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I got to on it. I think I got to the maybe 2 series in, and then just lost interest.
Yeah, I remember, like, speaking of watching things in order, I was listening to a podcast where a big old gay, like, the hairiest man in porn, Mr. Teddy Bear Gurr, actually, yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah, he's really fuzzy, and he's a porn star, but he also draws really cute couple and pet commissions for people. So like there's one like where he's like, there's one of his Instagrams where he's got his butthole just like poking out, and he's just like, look how fuzzy I am and everything. And then the next one is just like this really cute picture of a cat. And it's like, this is for Mabel. Thank you very much for your work. And it's like
an Instagram that is a land of contrast.
Oh no, he's got 2. Because he's like, I don't want to be selling like cute like could you draw my daughter and her husband, like it's their anniversary. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be doing that and then posting whole pics. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, and he was saying that anytime he watches a new thing, he'll start with season 3. And then
the TNG approach.
Yeah, and then he'll be like, do I like this? And then he'll go, yeah, okay, I'll go to season 2. Fuck season 1. Season 1 is the fucking Wild West. Everyone looks fucking hideous because they have no makeup budget. Everything looks like shit because they have no budget anyway. I'm fucking like, no one knows what the hell they're doing. The characters suck, so I just go straight from that, and then I watch it. And it's like, dude, I mean, how I could not do that.
That is a way.
Is
you know what?
Terrifying
I respect someone for having their own way of doing things, but also, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just like,
and also,
why, dude?
But also, he's not 100% wrong either.
That's what really annoys me, is that it's like, that's insane.
Unless you're watching Space 1999, in which case, don't watch the second season. It's very bad.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like, televisual media and movies tend to be basically the opposite of video games. So, like, the earlier stuff with, like, movies tends to be better, whereas the later stuff with video games tends to be better. But yeah, just thought that was a really weird way of doing it, but, like, he seemed really happy about it, and I'm kind of like, I'm angry because it makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense, but also I think you might be evil.
I mean, he seemed like a nice guy until he said that. Yeah. And I was like, I'm trustworthy. Not sure if I trust you.
But yeah, so I didn't watch much more of that. But I did watch The Expanse has wrapped up its latest season. It's wrapped up season 5. And yeah, that's really cool. It's
I've heard a very funny part.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not funny, but like what
okay, skip forward like a minute if you don't want a spoiler for the last episode.
Also, content warning.
And also a little bit of a content warning. So, long story short, one of the members of the cast had a bunch of women come out accusing him of various misconduct.
Being a real
creepy motherfucker.
Yeah.
So he's not coming back for the next season.
Which is good on them for actually fucking doing something.
Yeah. They straight up in the last episode they straight up poochie him. he just dies out of nowhere. His character's just like, oh whoops, I guess that guy died of a stroke, and he's just fucking dead.
It's like, I remember you watched that episode and you turned around and told me that, and I was like, oh, that's gross. I was like, oh yeah, but they've taken him out of it the best way, and I'm like, oh, what, did they poochie him? And you just looked at me like,
yeah. He had to go. His planet needed him.
And I was like, dude, that is so fucking no ceremony. Just okay, yeah, fuck off.
He's like a main character as well.
Not anymore, he ain't a creep.
And it was just so abrupt that I was just like,
that's the best thing.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I just had to say that. Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, Expanse. Yeah, it's a good season wrapped up. There's going to be one more season, and then it's not going to be the end per se. It's not being cancelled, but there's going to be a break, and then they're like, they don't know if they're going to make any more. They might make some, but they're going to like wrap things up in a satisfying way, but leave things open to doing more seasons later. From what I understand.
Expansing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really interested to see where they go with that. Because it was a fun season, and got to explore some of the characters in kind of cool ways. Yeah, good.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah, it's a good series. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, that's what I have done. So, Snipe.
Hi,
my dear.
Hello.
What have you been up to?
It's been a bit tricky with mental health lately, but then again, it's quarantine and everything is terrible. I think I can be I can be forgiven. I'm not even going to joke about it. So I haven't been up to much that's been new. Been playing like The Long Dark, and I'm going for the cartographer achievement, which is basically map every single named location in the game.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to keep me busy, and it's a great podcast game, especially if you put it on the easiest mode where animals don't attack you. And I've got to the point now where I've spent like 500 hours in it, so I'm just like, yeah, no. I could just live in the Canadian wild. I couldn't. That's a fucking lie, and I know it. Because I'd be like, it's 10 degrees. There's a bear, and I thought bears were cute, but they smell bad. Or like, I don't know.
And real bears, I can't just put them on easy mode so they don't attack me.
Can you? Okay, that made my brain just like soft crash there. Also, if bear is not meant for cuddle, why ear fluffle?
I know, it's very unfair.
This is why I know there isn't a god. Because no sane deity would make something as cute and fluffy as a burr and then make it homicidal. It's not fair and it's wrong, and I want to hug the bears. And like, anyway, I've been playing like The Sims and stuff like that, but I guess actually the biggest piece of news is that for those people who follow me on Twitter, you probably already know, but I am non-binary.
Yeah.
And I have come out on Twitter, and I've known for quite a while, and I've just been super scared to speak out because, of course...
Yeah, fair. Very
fair. I mean, the thing is, like,
we've all seen the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cultivate
and like, the loveliest fan listeners and whatever you want to call them as much as you want. It's still the internet.
Someone will blow in with a fucking dog shit opinion, and you're like, wow, okay, that's ruined my life. Thanks. But no, I was kind of nervous anyway, because it's just... If I could explain it properly, it's like I was used to being a quote-unquote woman on the internet in quote-unquote male spaces for a very long time, so I kind of developed like a thick skin and like no, fuck you, I deserve to be here. But then like kind of being non-binary is relatively new, like realizing that that's actually my identity, so I don't have any of the awesome retorts stored up. So it makes me feel a little bit vulnerable. But no, it's like, yeah, I've known for a little while, but it's scary. So my pronouns are she, they. If you like, I've had a couple of people ask, which is really nice, like, oh, is it okay if I just call you she? And it's like, that is fine. If you want to just call me they, that is also fine. Like, both are there to be used. I
have got a very important question though. does this mean that I can finally post online that
beautiful non-binary marine you painted for me?
Yeah, when you'd first figured it out.
Yeah. And yeah, Wib, being the amazing husband he is, spent like a solid 2 days painting a gorgeous Space Wolf Primaris non-binary marine with a femme head from Statuesque Miniatures, and on one of their shoulder pads they have the non-binary pride flag. And even just talking about it now makes me feel a little emotional.
Of course he did, because he's lovely.
He
The dick.
really is, yeah.
You know, the funny part is that I was literally painting it just in the front room the entire time, and I just did it
on the computer.
Yeah, I was just painting. Basically, I used the psychology approach of like, I'm just going to do this right here and not acknowledge that I'm doing anything secretive, so she won't notice.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I guess I kind of do this, whereas if I'm drawing or working on something, I don't like people looking. Because I'm like, no, it's not ready to be looked at yet. So I tend not to look at other people's like stuff when they're working. So it was like, it actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
So I can finally post that online.
Yeah, you can.
I had to not count that in one of my
I
logs.
know. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No. I'm being silly.
I know. But no, honestly, everyone has been...
I'm the one who had the real problem.
Yeah,
It's
been very hard.
It's been very hard for me.
Oh my lord. But yeah, no, everyone has been so fucking lovely. I was honestly just completely shell-shocked by how lovely everyone was. Because, like, I mean, I came out in the most me way possible, which was, hey, what's got grey hair, likes beef jerky and John Bernthal and is non-binary? Lol, me! And, oh my god, Lynn, the sweet darling, she didn't notice that I said that I was non-binary, because she just once over the tweet, and she was like, oh yeah, I know this really tasty, like, beef jerky brand. And then a few minutes later, she was like, oh my god, I forgot to read that part. And it's like, honestly, that made me laugh so hard. It was so sweet and cute, and it made me very happy. But yeah, and I was honestly expecting someone to breeze on in, like some fucking, like, turf or something, and just be like, I don't think so, blah, 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 chromosomes, or some fucking outdated bullshit that doesn't even correlate. But no one, everyone's been super nice, and it's really lovely. And yeah.
And I'd like to remind, if anyone feels like being shitty about this, we have a button that just means that your comments will be forever hidden on the channel. That's just a thing you have as a YouTuber. I mean, so just putting that out there, just for no reason.
And if anyone does want to be shitty about it, then, I mean, maybe you should wonder why. Because I've been non-binary for my whole life, and now it bothers you. I mean, that doesn't look very good, Haas. Not very good at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, fucking whatever. You know, if that's what makes somebody stop liking me, then I don't want you to fucking like me in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm getting my skin now. I'm finally getting that skin. But yeah, that was exciting and scary, and I just had to put my phone down and not look at it for 12 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I'd just like to thank everybody for being so nice and supportive, and it was overwhelmingly lovely, and I'm not good at communicating with my mouth words, so thank you. I hate
to tell you, if you're not good with communicating with your mouth words, we're quite a way into having a podcast. You
literally told me today, it's like, love, you're like, oh, it's a good job you don't rely on speaking for your job, love. And I was like, he's right though. But whatever. I watched through The Mandalorian season 1 and 2 with Longfriend.
Yay.
Oh, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I had a little to drink in the last couple of episodes, and I was ugly crying so hard. I love that fucking show.
It's a good show.
It's just a shame that, like, nearly every woman in it is a piece of shit.
There's
a
been
few
some
that have come out with some really dog shit fucking ideas.
There's been some weird shit go off with the cast of that show.
Yeah, but no,
But the actual show itself is good.
So can I ask, like, just because, you know, we're all queer as fuck here.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal, daddy.
He's
daddy.
a very pretty man.
Oh, he daddy.
Good.
He's like, what a rad dude though. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. Thought that was fucking great. It was really nice. Also, speaking of the Star Wars. Yeah, played through some Star Wars Squadrons, which is the flight sim.
Yes.
Why are you acting as if I've got everything wrong about that?
I didn't.
You were like, yeah.
You said it and then looked at me like I was supposed to add something.
No. I no.
And I was like, no. Yes, it is. don't know what more you want me to say.
Okay. But yeah, no, I played through Battlefront 2 story mode on stream, which was thoroughly enjoyable. The story was fantastic. The controls were pretty fucking jank, but I just put it on easy and just enjoyed the game. It was really good. And I feel that maybe the same writers wrote Squadrons, like the story mode for that, because it's got some really cool kind of like moments and like in the story. And yeah, it's like it's quite tricky to fly like the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters and stuff like that. I main X-Wing because of fucking course I do. They're the coolest fucking like ship. You can't convince me otherwise.
I mean, I have my weird soft spot for B-Wings, so...
Yeah, but they're stupid.
Yeah, that's why I love them.
Okay, that really says a lot about our marriage. Why have you been married for 15 years? Because you're stupid. You know what? That's fair. What? You look like you just thought of something really mean to say,
but
it's really...
It's okay, honey. You're the B-Wing of wives.
Oh my god.
Legit, though, B-Wings
By which he means the best wife.
Yeah, like for
because that's
legit,
what B stands
legit,
for.
I love B-Wings.
Exactly.
Like they're great. Like I fucking love them. Like,
everyone else thinks they're goofy and stupid though. Actually, that checks out.
I have actually been trying to play Y-Wing a bit more because they're
more support class, aren't they?
No. That's the U-Wing you're thinking of.
Oh my fuck off! X-Wing or bust.
The Y-Wing's the other bomber, but it's just geared a little bit differently.
But no, so yeah, I've been playing that and it was quite hard. Like the flying is quite tricky.
It takes a little bit to get used to.
It's like if you kind of like, okay, so don't laugh and bear with me on this.
Okay.
It's like if you put the abstract concept of tank controls into Google Translate to translate it into flight. So once you get used to it, it's actually really good and effective. I told you not to laugh! Wow.
Wib, not everyone will be able to relate to this, but how does it fly compared to Elite Dangerous? Is it at all similar?
A bit more arcadey.
Okay.
Honestly,
also, he makes sense. Okay.
Honestly, if you're into like your kind of flight sim stuff, or any of the kind of games like that, where like kind of more arcadey, like the old X-Wing and TIE Fighter games, that kind of stuff. If you're into those kind of games, it'll probably be super simple to pick up. But if like us, you don't really have much history of playing those games, it does take a little bit of getting used to.
That's what I said, basically. But yeah, after like an hour or two, I got really into it and started pulling some sick maneuvers. They were criffing brilliant. But yeah. I said that like I was like doing an advert that I obviously hated the product of. But yeah, that's pretty much just been me. So yeah. Drumbly bumbly.
Yes.
What have you been up to, dear?
I have done a few things.
Tell us.
I guess first, I've watched the first episode of The Watch.
Oh,
as
yeah,
in the Terry Pratchett, but kind of at this point not Terry Pratchett series that
where like
someone made.
I love the fact that they cast a non-binary actor for Cheery.
Yeah,
that's
Cheery
super
is
fucking
excellent.
awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, no, it's good. The casting is mostly, actually, when you're actually watching the series, I'd say almost excellent in that. So, okay, just to start from the start, for anyone who doesn't know, The Watch is a subset of the Discworld books. Like, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the books, a fifth of the books. There's a few Watch books within the Discworld
Honestly,
series.
I would say in the Discord series, they're probably my favourite books.
Yeah,
100%. Fucking tastic, I love them.
Them or The Witches. I can never decide which are my favourite.
Honestly, both of them are so fucking strong.
Yeah.
It's like we have a friend who named her daughter Esme because of Weatherwax.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's the cutest fucking thing in the world. But yeah.
And then, they've made a series, and it's been somewhat troubled in that Pratchett was vaguely involved, or at least aware of it, because it was originally in development in, 10 years ago, or whatever it was. And up until, 2016, Rhianna Pratchett was involved in writing it, and then she said in, 2019, not been involved in that for a while, and then various other people have been like, no. So I was very, very sceptical going into it.
Well, I mean, from the trailer I saw, they look like they de-seed it and made it, super gritty, and Vimes looks like he's basically, a knockoff Jack Sparrow, almost.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the setting is not a, fantasy, broadly speaking, fantasy Discworld setting, because I guess you call Discworld fantasy setting. In broad strokes. It's not that, it's kind of a modernised, kind of, not quite steampunk, but it's sort of modern, but then all of the street lights are lit with dragons and all the various...
it's like Final Fantasy kind of look.
all the various CCTV cameras are imps in boxes, but then you get a tablet out of them and can watch video footage. So it's sort of modern, but also not quite
science fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And the casting is overall. So the main cast, Sam Vimes, who's the captain of the Watch, and he's the main character and the focus of the series.
We got Argilla, not Argilla, fucking shit, she's from Digital Devil Saga.
Angua,
you've got
who
Carrot.
Is perfectly cast.
Oh, yeah?
She is excellent. So, I mean, this is all speaking from one episode, so this is subject to, things bedding in a bit and whatnot, but so far, very impressed with her casting. Carrot is fine. I expected him, slightly
He's supposed to be,
and slightly... nicer. Well, no, just friendlier, but again, he's mostly fine.
It's not Jack Kirby.
I don't know.
The newer artist.
Paul
Kidby, because there's Josh Kirby and Paul Kidby.
Well, yeah, I mean it's
so confusing. Paul Kidby's drawing of Carrot was perfect. That's exactly how I imagined him. Because there's that in the art books, there's that kind of lineup, and all sat there, and Carrot's just this fucking huge Dudley Do-Right Prince character, and it's just why are you here? It's perfect. Oh, is Nobby in it?
Nobby and Colon are neither in it, and they're not in it at all. Which is an interesting choice. Yep, they're just not in the series. They're never mentioned. They're not cast. They're just not in it.
Unforgivable.
Yeah, boycotting it, sending hate mail.
Interesting choice, but also I can see how those two characters work really well in the books, but I can see how it wouldn't quite translate maybe to a TV show.
Well, then who else suspects Angua of being a werewolf? Now they're just going to go, straight up Angua.
Yeah, she just is. It's fine.
Yeah, but okay.
Cheery, excellent casting. Yeah, that works really well. Really happy with that. The interesting casting, which I was very sceptical from the trailer and very sceptical the whole way through, but by the time we got to the end of the episode, I would say it's excellent casting. Vimes, in that he's so, on the face of it, badly cast. He's just a straight up different character, which means I can go into the whole series not trying to compare it to the books and just watch it as a different thing based on really good source material, but not I'm not spending the whole time being oh, that's not quite like that in the books. That's not, because it's just a very different thing. And it actually works really well so far.
I actually get what you mean there.
It's sort of a weird way of coming into it, but I'm if they got the casting half right or 3/4 right, you'd just be focusing on why it wasn't quite right. But because they've gone in such a different direction to what I ever possibly imagined Vimes was as a character, I'm actually okay with that. Maybe it would have been better if they did, if they made a series and they were properly authentic to the books and did perfect casting, maybe that would be better, but, that's hypothetical. But considering what it is, I'm actually think they've actually gone in a good way with it, which is weird and not quite what I was expecting to say about it in the end. But...
I will say, like, the biggest problem I had from just the trailer is that Sybil seems really too young.
Yeah, she is a very different character as well so far. Again,
which is fine, but like she just looks like way too young to be hanging out with Vimes, who's like 60. It's like, no, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, Vimes is young. He's probably maybe 40 in this, and she's probably close to that. So they're probably quite closely matched, I'd say, just younger than the books.
Well, I guess she's very lucky to look that young.
No, maybe she is. She just, She does look younger than Vimes, but I think Vimes looks older than he is because, you know.
They give him, like, fucking Jack Sparrow eyeliner.
I mean, I will say, like, because I remember when it was all kind of announced, you know, a lot of people were, like, upset with what they were doing. And, like, I'm a big Discworld fan. Like, the Discworld books are very, very important to me. But I've seen, there's been various adaptations of the Discworld that have been faithful. There was the animated. They did, was it Weird Sisters and Soul Music?
I loved those as a kid. Also, I didn't understand why a town being called Scrote was an issue until I was a bit older. And I was like, oh fuck that. It was like, oh yeah, we're going to Scrote. I was like, oh fuck.
Well, we've had like a handful of live action adaptations as well, you know, fucking Hogfather, Colour of Magic and stuff. And they've had like kind of, I'd say that it'd be fair to say that these things have been a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I would say I see them as kind of maybe not. I mean, if you're going to create, like, you know, something based on something, then why don't you just go fucking bananas?
Yeah, I think that's
because,
the thing.
Like, we've seen how they've tried to do it as close as they could to this, like, stories, and it's just been shit, and David Jason not a good fit for
You're never going to get the character of the books coming through.
Yeah, you're just not going to get
in
that.
In the show, especially because Pratchett himself is obviously not going to be involved.
Yeah, and it's such a different medium. There's so many things you can't even begin to convey in, like, moving image.
And especially because not long ago we got an absolutely perfect adaptation of Good Omens, so I think basically we've used up the trough of good adaptations of things Terry Pratchett was to do with. Like, that was so good that I will be shocked if we get a decent Terry Pratchett adaptation this side of the next 50 years.
One problem with Good Omens as a TV series, and this is a glaring problem, and I think a lot of people probably will never watch it because of this unforgivable error. Crowley's car doesn't have the bullet hole sticker.
I know.
I really wanted to see it. Okay, so this, like, for anyone who's in the dark, in the book, it's like Crowley only refilled, like, his car up with petrol once because you got, like, a free James Bond sticker with it that was like a little bullet hole that you could put on your car.
Yeah.
And he thought it was cool, so he did it. And it's like, it would have been so nice if you just see him, like, shut the door or something, like, just in the bottom corner there was, like, a fake bullet hole or something.
Yeah.
That would have been a really nice touch. But that's, yeah. But otherwise, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, so I...
And, oh my god, I love my like, ethereal, like dads, basically.
Yeah, no, they did
my big gay ethereal dads.
A fantastic job with that. I don't know, I feel like it's... karmically, it's going to be a while before we get a good version of a Discworld thing. So, or a more accurate, a good, faithful adaptation. Doing something weird with it, go for it.
So that's why I'm sort of, obviously, one episode in, I think there's 5 or 6 episodes out of 12 or 13 in the series. So obviously, this is subject to it going even better or dramatically worse very quickly. Who knows?
Well, you should have watched the second season first. You failed. You failed already. What are you doing?
But so far, I'm in the I'm way more impressed after watching the episode than I was in the trailer, which looked a bit. You didn't quite come across what they were trying to do.
I remember hating BoJack Horseman on the trailers because they just tried to make it look like it was just Family Guy but with a horse person.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like Family Guy. I don't want another fucking Family Guy. And then, like, when I actually started seeing, like, I'm using, like, GIF sets of it, and I was like, holy fuck, that looks like it's really well written. Yeah, I guess I'll give it a go. And it turns out it's like, hey, a lot of the times just trailers are made by trailer houses to just try and buzzword it.
They're made to appeal to whatever is whatever they think will appeal at
Yeah.
that point in time. So it's not necessarily reflective of the final work.
Yeah, very true. Like, for example, Suicide Squad looked like it was a bit fun.
I don't know, it still looked a bit wank in the trailers,
No,
and it was just even more wank when you saw the final
Honestly,
thing.
like,
Do you mean The Suicide Squad or Suicide
mean
Squad?
just
Because they're apparently
Suicide-
different films.
They are, yeah. Oh my god. Like, please. Anyway, I will give one bit of credit to Suicide Squad. It is so catastrophically badly done to the point where it's really funny and actually entertaining in all the ways that they really did not mean it to be.
It's a very fun
You can
movie
see
to
the
talk
hard,
about.
yeah. You can see the hard cuts where they had the whole it's gritty and grimdark, and they're abusing Harley in the psychiatric ward because she's crazy, and then it's like her going, "What? We're bad guys. This is my purse now." Oh, and it's like, okay, great. What? Slipknot, the man who can climb anything. I cannot fucking get that out of my head. He can just climb anything. And he just gets out of a car. Everyone else has this fucking minute and a half fucking mini music video with licensed music that must have cost them a fucking fortune. And then it's, oh, by the way, there's one more member of your team. This guy is getting at the back of a fucking Ford Fiesta. And it's like, all right. I'm looking forward to him doing some good in the team.
I'm gonna get really invested in this character, and I hope he doesn't die in the next 5 minutes.
Oh wait, it's not even 5 fucking minutes.
But anyway, Matthew.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, the watch so far. I'll report back when I've seen a few more episodes.
Yeah,
But
I hope
if you
it's
are
good.
skeptical about it, I would say give it a try. Like, you might still hate it, and I'm not at all promising that you won't hate it. You being collectively yous, but
Yeah,
not you specifically.
Oh.
But yeah, give it a try. You might like it more than you were expecting to, which turned out to be quite a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't realise it had started
start-
airing.
Honestly, I just
started-
saw the thing and I was like, eh. And I just
It
didn't
started at the start of the 1st or 2nd of January. I think the first episode came out
Oh,
Okay.
wow, okay.
on, I don't know, American TV probably. I don't technically know if it's out in this country yet. Let's just move on from that.
You shouldn't be
everything is
travelling
fine.
during a quarantine, drummer Matt. Ooh,
I should
naughty.
not.
No.
You could class it as essential travel with Discworld involved.
Yeah,
That's fair. Just hop on a plane to fucking Florida.
I mean, apparently other people are doing it, so I don't understand who. Anyway, let's not.
Let's not.
I did another thing.
What did you do?
We watched a horror film on the Netflix.
Ooh, what did you watch?
You will be very proud of me, Snipe.
Oh.
We watched a film called Velvet Buzzsaw.
I have heard very interesting things about that movie.
that does sound familiar, and I don't know why.
It was by the director, I've completely forgotten their name, who did Nightcrawler a while ago, and they've done a few things since, and they did other stuff. I can't remember. I haven't researched this because I only watched it last night, and I was just like, oh, I should talk about that. So this is all off the fly, and I've not really thought about what I'm going to say about it yet.
I will say I did watch that's Nightcrawlers with Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yes, and this also has Jake Gyllenhaal. So
Okay.
I think they must be, when directors have like a favourite actor.
They
sort of
they
thing.
like adopt actors.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
care dependence. Yeah.
They might have made more films with or without Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know, but the two that I can remember both have Jake Gyllenhaal in.
Fair. I mean, I did try. I got like halfway through Nightcrawler, and it just made me really uncomfortable, and I was like, nah, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. But yeah,
No.
this is worth watching. It's interesting. I'm going to say a bit more. I'm not quite going to go into the Snipe level of remembering the plot because I can't and go talking through it because I'll cock it up and I can't remember and I've not had time to think about it.
Wait. I remember plot points.
You do a really good job of like talking through talking through like a thing and talking about it as a way through. Yeah, it's really good. I usually say, this is the thing that I watched, it's quite good, but I don't want to spoil it, so I won't say anything. Move on. So
Yeah, you tickle the balls.
this one, I'm going to talk through a bit because I think, broadly speaking, everything I say is at least hinted at or is just straight up in the trailer. So it's not like it's pretending to be a normal, like a not horror film for half of it, and then a horror thing happens and it surprises you because it's just all in the trailer. So.
It's called Velvet Buzzsaw, which
gives it away. Which is actually a terrible name, really, considering that it's like not at all related. It's just one of the characters used to be in a punk band in like the 80s, and the punk band was called that. but
Like
that's the
Velvet
only link
Revolver.
to it. So it's kind of I think they just they quite liked the ring of the name and was like, right, how can we sort of lever this into the film?
I mean, it's better than like, because there's like quite a common thing of just having like evil, devil, or like just like one fucking word, and it's like
it makes it more interesting. And it
does, it
caught
does.
our eye when we were sort of flicking through what to watch. So
And I'll tell you what, if I'm scrolling through movies to watch and I see Velvet Buzzsaw as the name of something, it's going to go to the top of the maybe pile. You know.
Does the word velvet make you want to eat something?
You're thinking of
Red Velvet cake.
Yeah, Red Velvet.
No, it's purple.
which I ate this afternoon. Oh, yeah, not
I ate a fly.
unlinked to the film, but coincidentally.
No, I've moved my cheat day up because it's been a fucking hard time. So yeah, I've just had like a big like single bar of Lindt hazelnut chocolate, like milk chocolate. So many did come.
Yeah. Anyway, the movie.
Yeah.
So the movie, it is set in like the art world. So most of the main characters are either art dealers or museum workers or
Drug dealers.
people who like represent artists or the artists themselves or art critics, and they're all it's not in like normal art, it's like high-end Hollywood art, so they're all complete
Jesus.
bellends.
Yeah.
And like so two-faced and pretentious. It's all like nice to meet you, and then they turn around and like stab them in the back. And yeah
Okay.
I think at one point Ruth has turned to me and was like, I hate art now.
This movie made me hate the concept of art.
Oh no.
And in essence,
Ruth.
so I'm not going to do a full plot thing, but in essence, one of the I think she starts off as an assistant in a gallery or somewhere. She goes home to her own apartment, and some random old person that she'd never really met before, but who lived in the same apartment block, was just dead on the landing, or the whatever the not English word for landing is.
Hallway.
Hallway, yeah, but upstairs.
The domesticated veranda.
Yeah, that. It might be the wrong word, but it's very descriptive, so I like it.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. It just kind of came to me.
She's there, and then she hears a cat noise or something from his apartment. So she goes into his apartment. I think this is like a few days later, once obviously she's got over slightly the seeing the dead body thing.
And she goes to like shake him down.
And his apartment is just full of paintings, and he's just obviously spent his whole life painting, but they're all in his apartment on the walls and whatnot. And she's like, "Whoa, these are really good." Takes them to her boss, who's like, "Oh, who else did you tell about this?" And they're like, "Okay, well, if they sort of try and think, oh, these are actually going to be worth something. They're like amazing." Or I can't remember. They get the critic involved, and the critic's like, "These are transcendental. These are," I don't know, he uses all these art words.
The boat and the house are incidental.
So they start selling these artworks, putting them up in the galleries and things, and they look into a bit about him, and in the background he's like, "Oh, I'll write a book about him. He's an interesting character." And they found out that he like killed his dad, and he did this, and he was in an asylum for a while, and then he did something else horrifying.
So he's basically Michael Myers.
Well,
I mean, I guess he's got to do something while he's
detail,
waiting for teenagers to fuck. I was like, I guess I'll just paint a boat or something. Fucking Jesus Christ. What?
And then it gets to the sort of second half of the film, and it moves away from all the art things and towards basically the paintings, in essence, are trying to kill them because he didn't want any of his paintings sold, and he was like putting his blood in the paintings, and he doesn't want them sold. So like people are like looking at the painting slightly, and they'll see like, is it moving? And then they'll turn their back on it, and arms will reach out and grab them and pull them into the painting, or various things like that.
Cronenbergian, I like it.
Slightly, yeah.
A
And
bit
that's the gist of it.
transcendental.
But like, it's got a really good cast, and then of like good actors who I've completely forgotten the name of all of them but there's a lot of.
There's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. John Malkovich is in it.
Oh, nice.
Oh god, who else? Lots of good actors that I've completely forgotten the name of now, and I'm frantically trying to Google and be like, if I can sort of talk.
Well, the usual indie darlings are like Meryl Streep, Sam Neill, Christopher Lloyd has started showing
Tony
up.
Collette. She's pretty
cool. Yeah.
Natalie Dyer, who is
Oh, I know her.
Nancy in Stranger Things. She's in it, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
Because we spent the whole way looking through, being like, and she's the character that like ends up accidentally finding all the like she finds all the bodies at the end, and like she's just not has a good time of it.
Poor
She's
thing.
like she's like the assistant at like the gallery, and then she gets fired from like a few days later, and the next time you see her, she's like the critic's assistant, and she gets fired. And the next few days you see her later, and she's like someone else's assistant. I'm like, how are you getting all of these jobs? Oh, okay, one of your parents is probably an art critic or something. This is. I feel less sorry for you now because you're just stumbling into all these jobs. They're all horrible jobs, fine, but also, yeah, not everyone can just stumble into a job after they've been fired for being crap.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a entertaining film, but it has a very A-list cast. It is filmed very A-listy, but it is such a B movie. Like some of the like, you'll just see it and there'll be like a doll in the corner of the room, and then it will like its eyes will suddenly open and like the hands will reach out paintings, and it has like every single trope from every single B movie is all in this film.
Oh.
So it's I don't know if we couldn't work out if it's meant to be like B movie or if it's like it's almost you could almost frame it as like a homage towards B movies but made
Honestly,
with a budget and with actors and things.
With like the fact that it's called Velvet Buzzsaw, it just screams like it's like a love letter to B movies to me.
Yeah, I
which
know,
is not
it almost
an issue.
but if they were going for that, I think. In summary, I saw on the Wikipedia page, as like, in the reception, because I was like, what do other people think of this? Because sometimes you watch something and you find it hilarious because it's so bad, and then you read the reviews of it and you're like, oh, everyone likes this, but like genuinely likes this, not because it was bad. So I was like, okay, I wonder what the reception is. And there was one review of it which was absolutely perfect. It's like, it was fine. It would have been better if it was either 60% better or 20% worse. And I was like, that is a perfect review of this film.
That's fan-fucking-tastic.
It would have to be a lot better to be genuinely really good, but just a little bit worse, and then it would have been an excellent bad movie. And it wasn't quite. And I was like, that review is excellent.
That review is better than the movie.
Not good, not good enough to be great, and not bad enough to be good.
Yeah. Well, not quite bad enough. It was like it was still entertaining as like a bad B movie, but with a good cast of good actors. So I still recommend watching it, especially if you're in. And I quite liked it, and I'm not really into the sort of horror films, but it's so everything that horror happens in it is such a like trope and is so funny. It wasn't really scary at any point, so I quite enjoyed it because I don't mind like a good bit of horror, but so many horror films, as you're very aware, just resort to like cheap jump scares and things. And I know that there is obviously exceptions, but even
absolutely.
like good horror films still want to like scare you, which I don't like.
Well, I mean, the thing is, jump scares are kind of just, they're a value-neutral kind of thing. It's how you use them. Something like,
of course.
Yeah, so something like, I don't know, like, because, like, I hate to go all, like, dude from Scream, but there is a formula to it. Like, there's always a fake scare.
Perfect jump scare is
One that's earned.
from John Carpenter's The Thing, when they're testing
the blood test scene. That scene, till this day, makes me fucking so uncomfortably anxious.
That is how you do a jump scare.
That is how you do a jump scare. You got to build to it. But yeah, no. Yeah, and like I find a lot of issues with horror movies is that they're like shitty creepypastas where they're just like, what's deeply unpleasant? I know. Let's just put in like sexual assault or something like that because it's like, look, 99.9% of stories that have that in it, it could literally be any other crime. It could just be, oh yeah, they punched me in the head or whatever, it's that kind of thing, and it just big fucking pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
So it's like,
this just doesn't have that. It doesn't have jump scares. It has ever so slight jump laughs, whereas it maybe because everything that's scary in it is just actually funny, and so. But yeah, no, we really enjoyed it. We and not just because it's the first a film that we've actually had time to sit down and watch in about a year, but
it's almost like having a baby just monopolizes your fucking time. Honestly, you need to talk to your child about their toxic behavior, because like
2021 should be all about you.
Yeah, you're in your 30s. You're about you now.
But yeah, it's a good film, and it's just on Netflix. So if you've got Netflix, there's no harm in watching it. I actually recommend it, but yeah. If it was 20% worse, it would have been even better.
So you need to be like 10% drunk.
Yeah, that'd do it. Or you could probably do it as a drinking game, like every time something silly happens. That could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good film. And I just wanted to talk about it. Not least just to say that quote about it, to be honest.
It is phenomenal.
I think it's my favourite review of anything I've ever read. It was just perfect.
I love how you're recommending the review more than the movie. It's like, oh, go read this review. It's great. Spoilers. But, I had to share it.
But, yeah, that's... Oh, go on. I'll talk about a game I played as well.
Oh, go on.
Just because I haven't mentioned a game yet.
Yeah.
VR, because I'm just doing the VR thing for a while now.
Hey, I get you.
Oh, they've apparently they've updated the Quest to mean that you don't have to have like a really high quality USB cable to run it on. It like they dropped down the requirements or something. So I'm just going to give it a try with the like charging cable and plug it into my PC and see what happens, because that's a USB-C to USB-A, and I don't have USB-C on my PC. So I'm going to give it a try at some point, and then if that works, I'm just going to get Squadrons and do that in VR and like just melt into my computer for a few weeks.
Yeah, sorry, I just like that was just half of the alphabet, and I just couldn't cope for a moment.
Sorry, I got excited.
No, it's fine. I get you.
But until well, that is still VR. But until then, I've been playing Quest games.
No, cool.
So this week we've been playing a game called Ghost Giant, which is not a clever name because you are a ghost giant. The first thing, so you're this like big ghost giant. I can't not say it. And you look down, there's like a little fox, cat, anthropomorphized creature thing in front of you who's
just
like
say
crying.
Anthro.
And that sounds like it's going to turn sexy or something. Though.
That's
That might
tarring
be my
things with the wrong
projections.
blush. Blush? Oh my fucking god! I can't speak English anymore. Sorry, everyone. I will only spreche Deutsch.
Entschuldigung. I forgot a couple of the German.
Überraschung! Ich spreche Deutsch!
So yeah, the first thing you do...
Neffen hat du? Ich habe zwei Schulter. Ich habe zwei Füße.
Please talk about Ghost Giant.
You are a ghost giant. I've said it a few times. And the first thing you see is this like cat creature thing is crying. So you can like stroke them to try and reassure them, and then there's like obviously they freak out because you're a ghost. You're a ghost giant. And I'm like, oh, they've already said the title. I can turn the game off now. Complete. And they go and hide behind a bush, and you just pick up the bush, and it freaks them out a bit. But eventually, like they get comfortable with you, and then you move on, and it's like you're looking down on like the town or whatever thing they're in, and you're just trying to puzzle solve for them. So they're trying to drive a car from one end of the map to the other, and you're just like moving boulders out of the way, and birds land on the road. You have to go down and like blow the birds away so they can fly away, and all this sort of stuff. But it's so beautiful. It's like it's a puzzle. It's like a puzzle solvey story type game, of which there is a lot of on VR because they work quite well. Mm-hmm. But it is very beautiful. It's sort of set in it almost looks like a pop-up book almost. And it's like a little bit mechanical. Like at one point, like there's houses that you want to turn around. There's like a big lever thing that you like crank around, and it just makes the house spin. And everything it's also obviously 3D, but it also all looks like it's sort of like a pop-up book. So it's not quite real, but it's very beautiful.
That sounds very nice.
Yeah, it's very relaxing, and it's got a really lovely so far story. I think it goes places later on. We haven't finished it yet. And it wouldn't surprise me because like his mum, he works on like a farm and he's trying to get farm seeds. His mum's too ill to go down to the shop, so I'm expecting it to like possibly go places.
Mm-hmm.
I say he. I'm assuming. I actually don't. I should say they. I apologise. I don't actually know. Anyway, I'm just assuming, and yeah. Society, whatnot. Yeah, it's one of the many puzzle games that are on VR systems, but this one is very beautiful, and not least as well on the loading screens you get to wave your big ghost hands around and like draw like a sparkler in there, so you can just draw dicks and draw.
Yeah.
Is it really a good VR game if at some point you don't get to draw a penis?
Right. I did draw loads of dicks
way.
at combines when I played Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah,
many dicks were drawn.
I mean, yeah, we didn't get out of the first room when I played it because I was spending this whole time drawing on the windows.
Yeah, it was so awesome. I spent most of my time yeeting shit, like whipping bricks off the top of buildings and then lunging to grab pigeons, which I could never catch one.
Yeah, I want to know if you can.
I really hope you can, because I want a pigeon child, and that would be legit. If I had a digital
you
pigeon
can
child.
only you can only catch pigeons if you have the Steam VR set up.
Shit, guess I gotta get Steam VR. Holy hell!
That's the exclusive content.
You see, honestly, that if you could just catch pigeons and that on the Steam VR, that would actually be like, ooh.
It's like
I hate how my lizard brain is like tempting.
Yeah.
It's like that 6-foot alligator plush that I desperately want with all my
you need
heart
that.
and soul.
Yeah,
it's
buy that.
$150, which
Not sure
would
how that's
probably.
relevant.
Fair, actually. So I've been telling Wib this, and then it's probably like 70 quid, like fucking shipping and import tax, and it's like so over like £200. But then I'm like, it's basically like Wib was like, we can't have that because we don't have the space. And I was like, well, we'll move house, and he's like, no, because like it's basically we need to assign real estate to that we would have like for a pet, and I'm like, honestly, we're saving money if we buy this instead of a pet. It can be both of our alligator, because then it's like, you know, we don't have to like worry about vet's bills. I can sew, so if
Snipe.
there's something like, you know,
Snipe.
I can clean him, and he can be like a conversation starter. And he's also like, basically, I've been after a body pillow for a while, and
Snipe.
he's just like the super like kind
This
of
is
what
we're not having the giant alligator.
email in.
And
and
I know
Wib
you just
he's a
want to
dickhead.
find any tangential way to talk about it.
No.
So that you could try and get the viewers / listeners on your side.
Okay.
See, you're only saying this until they release the like flat version.
And then you'll be like, oh, I'm just jizzing all over the place. I'm fucking, it's like I've turned a fire hose on. And then you're going to be really embarrassed and opening the window and coating the cars going past.
I'll put it this way. We at this point have so little room in this flat. I am actually trying to sort out some like 40k stuff to sell.
Well, I mean, you can do
I'm
that.
going
and
to
I'll just
sell
fill it
some
with
Warhammer.
alligators.
No.
I mean, that is quite a dramatic solution. So yeah, I'm starting to listen to him now. Sorry, Snipe.
But it's a 6-foot alligator plush.
Good counter argument.
Owned by an
Good counter-argument.
LGBTQIA plus business, so I'd be supporting them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, Wib he knows that I'm going to get it one day.
No.
I don't think I will.
No.
But like, I want to believe.
I know.
Yeah, you can dream. You can
dream. But it is
And then
not
every
happening.
Friday, I will just run around with the alligator with like one of my shirts on, or like maybe I'll get it some like booty shorts with "Are you nasty" on it, and like I will run around with him screaming that it is Flat Fuck Friday, you fucking losers.
Yeah,
And
that does sound pretty good, actually.
Yeah, and you know, you can do that too.
I know. But Matthew was talking about a video game.
No one cares. We want to talk about alligators.
I don't know how we got from like talking about pigeon catching being a Steam VR exclusive to the thing. I like blanked for a second, and then suddenly we were talking about this.
That's how it gets you. See, the thing is, it's just effortlessly brought up into conversation. Can you imagine how effortlessly it would fit on the couch? I mean, it's longer than
I'm
the couch,
realizing that I really need to pay more attention when you're speaking because you hijack things so easily.
I didn't hijack nothing. It was a natural course.
It absolutely, I can guarantee it wasn't.
It fucking... Drummer Matt, tell him.
I mean, I honestly can't remember.
Does no one listen to me? I mean, I don't even listen to me when I talk. I don't know why I'm getting
can
offended.
you remember how we got here?
Yes.
Matt, you were
goes to a
talking
different
Ghost Giant.
Ghost Giant.
Anything else you want to say about it?
Fun game. Nope, I just wanted to say a quick something about it just so I can, like, I've said something about a game. So that was my box ticking exercise. But it's a good game.
Box ticking exercise sounds like a nerd way of saying, like, having sex.
It also sounds like a great VR game in itself, doesn't it, really?
Oh my fucking god, dude, really? Oh, yeah. It's like the Charlie Brooker fucking, like neighborhood simulator with the Wii U, where it's like, hello, and he's like tipping his hat, and that's literally it. Just waving at neighbors and tipping his hat as he's walking down the street.
Can you imagine, like,
No!
interacting with humans? Does that
don't
not sound
want-
appealing right now? Interacting with other people?
Yeah.
God, can you imagine walking down a street and just being able to, like...
Cough on people.
Like, be near people and, like, not have to worry. That'd be fucking great.
Not have to walk in the road because people don't move up. Anywho, questions.
Questions. Yes, questions. We are instituting a few new rules as regards questions.
Question law.
So, first off, what email address do you send the questions to, Snipe?
Buy Snipe an alligator at 6footalligator.buymeafucking6footalligator.
Okay, that's not in fact the address. Matthew, can you tell me the address?
thedrummermat@gmail.com.
I thought you were going to go alligator purchases.
I was very tempted, but I'm also aware of how many questions we've got to get through.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
But yes, do you want to let people know the new rules we are putting in?
Yes, which we haven't entirely discussed with ourselves, so let's see what I say and see if you agree. In essence, once again, I opened up the emails, and we have a lot of them, and they are all very lovely, and I still read them all, and I will still reply to them all. But it's getting to the point where they're taking up a lot of the podcast, and as well, while that's nice on occasion, I think going forward it's not really sustainable. So, I think a good new rule is that email in whatever you want and I will read it, and if it's interesting or relevant, which it quite often is, not always, most often is, I can forward it or pass it on to Snipe and Whip. That's all fine. But we might not read everyone's full email or things on the podcast. So I think what we do is we probably won't do recommendations. We'll probably stick to questions, I think. And I think if you've got like a question to ask, if you put that like near the top or near the bottom of the email and make it obvious which one you actually want going in the podcast, I'll read that. If you don't, I'll just have to sort of pick the most podcast relevant, interesting question, I guess. Mm-hmm. Because I think we're gonna have to do that. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start choosing which people we want to read and not. And I'd rather still include as many people as possible, for as long as that's possible, but just limit it to a question each. For the podcast, like if you have more things to say, I enjoy reading the emails, and like I said, I'll pass them on. So I think that's a way forwards. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's a sensible way of doing it.
So if just one question and one statement that I need a giant alligator plushie. That's literally all like we really have time for.
If we've explicitly said things like, favourite Pokemon, and you have a one-word answer for that, we can do that in a question, I suppose.
Yeah. If it's like, oh, what's your favourite Pokemon card? Well, it all started in the summer of 1996. I remember it like it was yesterday. My father had just learned how to make a new type of lemonade. Then we're probably not going to be able to read it.
Yeah. So,
even though I kind of want to know about that lemonade, though.
Yeah, I want to hear that story too.
I've intrigued myself.
That being said, we haven't done that for this episode, so we've got quite a few questions to get through.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. So first up, Lorenz. I don't know.
Hello.
We might pronounce the S, we might not. First off, favourite Pokemon is a Mudkip.
Good. Classic.
Solid choice. Yet more importantly, which I like how much importance they place on the Pokemon, so it's even more importantly. A while ago, the Fuck, Marry, Kills were quite a popular question on this lovely podcast, so I planned to send one. Details were foggy, it was a little while ago, but I seem to remember at some point they were too numerous, we asked for a break from them, so I bided my time and then completely forgot about it, until recently. So, even back then, I wanted to play up with the formula a bit. So, instead of a Fuck, Marry, Kill, I raise you Fuck, Marry, War Master.
Oh.
So, fuck, marry are exactly what you expect. Fuck is a good fuck. Marry is a specifically sexless marriage. I don't know if that's usually the sort of implication of marriage, but in this case it is.
Is that the whole you don't believe in sex after marriage kind of thing, huh? Alright.
Okay. War Master. So, in one of his surprisingly less dumb ideas, the thrice cursed, bloody rotten, very awful Emperor of Mankind, parentheses, who is a dick, close parentheses.
Alright, yeah.
Good.
I know that guy.
Has entrusted the choosing of a new War Master to you. The character you choose will have full responsibility over the Imperial Army, while also having to win the respect of the other Primarchs and be tempted by ruinous powers. So, we've got one.
Okay.
We've got one each. Snipe.
Oh,
for you.
Okay.
You have Kylo Ren, optionally with a shirt, which implies optionally without.
Okay.
Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
Wait, does he have a shirt on?
Doesn't specify, so I've got to assume no.
Oh, nice. He double makey.
Plain simple Garrick.
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 As in Commissar Garrick.
There's a Commissar Garrick?
Who am I thinking of?
Garrick is from DS9. He's the Cardassian tailor.
Oh. Well, I am not letting... Oh my god, I'm gonna have a sexless marriage with what? Grommet?
Wallace.
Oh no, I don't. I would be happier marrying a dog because he's a bit weird, isn't he?
He's just a British guy. I mean, you're already married to one.
Yeah, and I don't think I could do it again.
Fair.
Okay, yeah, I'll marry whatever is fucking Wallace. Yeah, alright, sure. I'm obviously gonna fuck Kylo Ren. Because, he's got a lot of anger there, and hate fucks are great, I hear. Love to have one day. I don't know what to say to that. Just, when you stump yourself.
You've dug yourself into a very confusing hole.
That's just my life. But
so Garrick as
War Master Garrick.
Are you sure he was in the Obsidian Order?
Yeah.
He's not a good person.
Well, I just want to fuck Kylo Ren. Don't do this to me.
Okay.
Would you rather Garrick or Kylo fucking Ren be in ultimate charge?
I'd make Wallace War Master.
Okay, I've changed my answer. War Master Wallace is fucking hilarious to me. And plus, he basically looks a lot like Horus anyway.
Heresy, Grommet.
Heresy. And then he has the wrong power armor.
Yeah. Legit, if
Wallace
any brave soul wants to badly Photoshop Wallace onto the Emperor, I would consider that a
personal favour.
A personal favour.
But yeah, okay, so I'm going to marry Garrick because he's got to have the best stories. And honestly, I think I would like to have a podcast with Garrick.
Yeah.
Because then it would just be called, Lies Untold. And then we'll sit there and go, everything we say is true, and then I'll start talking about how I invented shoelaces because everyone was being a fucking moron before that and they were just like, well, we got to walk wanky because we can't fasten shoes. And then I'm like, no, I will help humanity. And then Garrick will be like, yeah, and then I realized that you should cross T's because otherwise they just look like shit eyes. Yeah.
What?
I mean, that's why we need a podcast. So I'll have a sexless marriage with Garrett. I'll fuck Kylo Ren and War Master Wallace.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on, because we've got three of this to go.
For me, I have a sentient train of your own choosing.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Myself from the Mirror Universe. And a specifically fully functional TNG data.
Oh.
Right.
So,
Oh, I want that question as well. So, drama about what
as much so, I feel like I am obviously a lovely person. So therefore, Mirror Universe me would be they'd be a monster.
That's not necessarily true because the Mirror Universe doesn't actually work quite like that. But for the sake of argument, we'll say it does.
Yeah, for the sake of that's what I think it implied within the question.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, as much as they would probably fit in quite well and do quite a good job of War Master, seeing as everyone in the 41st millennium is terrible. I don't think I'd want to impose that on the innocent people who would suffer. So, let's go Data for War Master, because I like to think...
Because then he could jack off in front of people and they'd be like, nice.
And
that would unify humanity.
Why would he jack off?
Well, I mean, he's fully functional.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But he doesn't... I don't think he gets anything from jacking off.
No, but the thing is, he will win respect. To deny our own, I don't know where I'm going with this.
No,
but
I
trust
got that.
Me, I think it would be great if he was just Imperial citizens, fap, fap, fap. And they're like, oh, he's an AI, but he masturbates, so he has to be like us. Because that's... I know that's not very inclusive to people who don't like sex or anything like asexuals and stuff like that. But is the 41st millennium, and Data is from the 80s, so, I think it's...
Yeah. I'm just going to say, I think in the future we're going to make sure you've got more sleep before coming into these things.
What?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Data as War Master.
All right, so Data's War Master.
Great.
I feel like if I had myself from a universe as a marriage, I could probably persuade them, even if they are a terrible person, to like do a job share and like take on half of the chores, and because I'd be like, well, then you only have to do half the chores, and I think then we could both like get some sleep. So
Yeah, but
I
probably
think
turn
I'm gonna
around and go, yeah, but what if I just don't do any chores and I make you do all of them?
Well, I mean, I could.
Then you
persuade
could be
them
like, then we
probably.
won't be able to practice kissing later because I'll be too tired.
And they will sexless marriage, you see. But I think that's probably fine because I don't want to waste my
Kissing
choice.
isn't sex.
Well, no, but
I mean, not technically.
it can be.
Depends what you're kissing, I suppose.
But that's the thing, like, if it was myself, I feel like that's just, like, putting a lot of effort. Like, going to the Mirror Universe, finding Mirror Me, bringing them back is a lot of effort to have what is effectively like a posh wank. So, you don't want to waste your
it's
fuck
not
with
a
them.
posh wank, though, is it?
But
Because
it's-
it's like you
yeah, but
don't
it's
have the
yourself.
same nerve endings.
I know, but, it's a bit of a waste. So, marry myself.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And then I guess I'm fucking the train.
Okay.
Which train it is? Let's
don't think-
go.
I don't think we can use as the title of the podcast.
Drummer Matt fucks the train.
Drummer train fucker Matt. But
We can censor it like the last one. When you got a text message from your dad going, so about that cum.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, that's my answers. I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Wib,
Yes.
Jet Jaguar,
Oh, God.
Okay.
Shadow Weaver from the She-Ra reboot,
Okay.
or 2 B1 Battle Droids.
Okay, well, I think because if we're going to put someone with such power, because on a fundamental level, no one person should have that amount of power, so it has to be given to someone. If it has to exist, it needs to be given to someone responsible. And Jet Jaguar is a noble character who does not appear to have evil in him.
And then,
So-
when someone's like, oh, I'm going to do something evil, he can just get really big and be like, no.
I thought you were going the other way there. It shouldn't be given to any one person, so the 2 droids get it.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. B1 Battle Droids are fucking idiots, though. So
Yeah, but, so is everyone else, in power.
yeah, but they're a special. Okay, so the B1 B1 Battle Droids, if I remember rightly, canonically speaking, they've all gone a bit wrong because they weren't supposed to be fully autonomous. But then they
Just
had to,
like the Tories.
yeah. But then they had to make them autonomous because of things happening like big Luca Hulk getting destroyed in episode 1,
Okay.
and just destroying the droid control thing. So they had to stop doing that. So that's why they were all a bit weird, apparently.
Okay.
I might be misremembering.
Are you going to
something
marry
from that.
them?
So
Or fuck
yeah,
'em?
so I've then got to decide what to do with them and Shadow Weaver.
I reckon you should fuck Shadow Weaver.
I think I'm gonna fuck Shadow Weaver.
I think she'd be wild.
I mean, she's a cool character. Mm-hmm. She's not a good person, but she's a cool character. So I don't think I could do it. She's very manipulative, so I
for
wouldn't
that
want to.
hate fuck though.
Yeah,
And you wouldn't want to marry a person that toxic.
Yeah, she's very, like I say, she's very manipulative. That's like one of the things about her character.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be married to someone who's manipulative. So I guess I'm marrying 2 B1 Battle Droids.
But you don't even get to have sex with them.
But I don't have to have sex with them.
Terrible.
No. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's my answer.
Great.
Excellent. All right, moving on. The girl who can't believe what Snipe said. I guess you still
Is this
can't
about
believe.
the yogurt lids again? Because that shit is going to follow me to my grave.
no,
I need
no,
you to do a YouTube apology video for that.
So, Snipe, question.
Yeah, sure.
You seem to have mixed feelings on Thunderwolf Cavalry.
I do.
If taking a short walk, would you rather ride a Thunderwolf or walk?
I would rather walk the Thunderwolf.
Oh, and I'll leave.
Yeah, just walk him on a lead, and then we can play fetch and shit. It's great. I would ride them on longer journeys. It's to be fair, I got up one day at 4 a.m. and then went for a 2.5 hour walk to a shop that might have sold Squishmallows just because I wanted to look at them. And then I walked home.
Yeah, you did
Just
do that.
because. And I did it in fucking high heels. Because I'm fucking stupid. So yeah. maybe I would have ridden a Thunderwolf there.
I definitely would. Thunderwolves are amazing. They're just big and floofy.
Yeah, no, I love them, and I would walk with them.
Yeah, why do you have mixed feelings about them? You've never expressed this to me before.
I don't know, it's just a bit...
Because it's a bit silly.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a bit silly. I think playing with the people we played ages ago, I think that particular person really fucking pissed me off about Thunderwolf Cavalry.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I know it's irrational, and I love the Thunderpups, and I would definitely have one as a mode of transportation and as a friend.
Okay.
So yeah. So to answer your question, yes and no. So I guess I didn't really answer anything. So thanks for the question.
Okay, Wib.
Hello.
Since you refused to comply with the IIUP, which I haven't had time to look up what that is.
A what now?
IIUP. It's an acronym for something.
IIUP.
But you're not complying with it, so you're going to get executed as soon as we find a commissar.
Oh,
shit, okay.
Once you've got a bit of time before then, so
Well, like
in the meantime, will you cover the IIUP or handbook in a video, as it's a really cool background book?
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to say, it's to do with the Imperial Girls, man.
The infantryman's primer.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Probably at some point. Yeah.
Cool.
But it's just a bit different to the stuff we normally cover. So, yeah, it probably will be. So
right.
got it, yeah.
And then for me, it just says, talk to me about trains since I like you and don't want to leave you out, which is very sweet. I wish I had more to say about trains, but A, I don't, and B, we don't have time. But trains are cool.
Okay,
One day I'll have more to learn. I want to learn about trains.
When you think about trains, I will ask a question on behalf of the girl who can't believe what I said. When you think of a train, what train immediately springs to mind?
The Mallard.
That's a duck.
Yeah, but it's also a train.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
And I can say A up to it and have a Derbyshire joke.
You know, I think we might have had the same conversation about about the mallard and you disbelieving it being a thing, like in the last podcast.
I've slept at least an hour since then.
It may have been in a stream or something. I'm sure we have had this conversation before.
Whatever. But yes.
Next up, Aben's in.
Hello.
First of all, which I guess this is a question that we asked people to answer and I completely forgot. Which fantasy food would I want to eat? So,
Yes,
their answer.
I did ask that.
Oh, okay, I forgot. I mean, then I got quite a few emails answering it. I was like, what is this thing that everyone's doing?
Then it's like, by the way, Heart of Targ. You're like, okay.
So, Aben's in would like to eat anything from Nanny Ogg's cookbook. Preferably the pudding she serves to the opera types in Masquerade.
I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I assume it would be very tasty, anything in there.
Yeah, but it's probably like 90% ghee.
It's probably 90% gin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay,
Or scumble.
Second up, oh god, yeah. Second up, 40k lore. So, before you answer, they've got a personal headcanon, so I'll say that first. But the question is, what do you think happened to the missing Primarchs? So, their personal headcanon is that while all the others landed on either Death Worlds or terrible Hive Worlds or other awful places, the others just landed on like Paradise Worlds, and just instead of wanting to go off and do war, they just had like spent the entire Great Crusade surfing and working on their tans and drinking amusingly named cocktails.
That sounds amazing.
The Emperor, of course, has since disowned them because they're not terrible people.
Yeah, they were like, no, I am an outsider to this land, and I will respect the culture and language that the native people have. And the Emperor was like, oh, fuck that, that's world shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
don't like that.
I mean, canonically, if I remember correctly, they are the Forgotten and the Purged is the thing. So one of them was wiped out by the Space Wolves, I believe. It's been a while since I read the books that mention it.
I believe.
And the other one is just stated to just be kind of a forgotten one that's gone. I actually do really like the idea of that they just, rather than ending up in a fucked up place, they just ended up on a place that actually raised them to be really well adjusted. And they weren't interested in not being interested in war, and that led to one of them either just sort of just abandoning their duties, and maybe they could be the Forgotten because they were just like, no, fuck this,
fuck this, I'm gonna go and plant potatoes.
And like they just did it in such a kind of absent mind, like a kind of way that it just that kind of happened. And the other one being one who actively rebelled because they didn't want to be a part in it, and that's why they were the Purged. That actually would be an interesting way to go with it, but I don't think they'll ever really do anything with him. Actually, fun thing, I think I've mentioned this before, but Rick Priestley, who came up with the lore about the 2 missing Primarchs and the 2 missing Legions, said in an interview that wasn't done for the reason everyone assumes, which is so that it gives you something so you can make up your own Legion. He did it purely just for a bit of mystery, because he was like, there's already 1,000 chapters.
Love me some fucking mystery.
Yeah, he said, there's already 1,000 chapters, and we named a small fraction of them. So there's plenty of ones for you to invent. That's what that was for. But the missing Legions were just there for, like, just to add some mystery to the universe, and that's it. It wasn't done there for the intention everyone always assumes. Yeah, I read that in an interview a while ago. I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah.
But no, I do genuinely...
That is a good headcanon.
Yeah, I do genuinely
really
like
nice.
that idea of them.
40k's too grimdark anyway.
Yeah.
I need something nice in there.
Having a Primarch be well adjusted? Good lord.
Not on the Emperor's
Weird,
watch.
Right? Next up, Kyuubi Mage.
Hello.
Podcast recommendation. Dice Friends by Loading Ready Run. It's a weekly TTRPG podcast hosted by an amazing Canadian improv group. And they typically
I've heard of
they do short campaigns every few weeks, so you don't have to catch up with a lot in a variety of systems and settings.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you for the recommendation.
If I ever get through Critical Role and the other about 9 or 10 podcasters on my to-go list. I love podcasts, but I have a habit of adding new ones that I just don't ever have time to listen to. Also, Snipe.
Hello.
I'm flipping my shit over the new Lumineth Horny Fox Boy.
Best.
If I were to say, sculpt the boy covered in bones and turn the horns into antlers, would you then run them as a Gothisaur harvester?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a load of skulls that you can stick to them, so...
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got more skulls than I know what to do with, which is, honestly, I've been wanting to get more. Because I just like having a box full of fucking skulls.
That sentence. I have more skulls than I know what to do with. I want to get more.
That's just 40k. That's collecting tabletop miniatures or dice.
Okay, yeah.
It is. Oh god,
legit,
I'm running out of space for my dice. Although the dice shop is having a sale.
Legit, I've actually run out of Orc skulls for my Grot Rebellion, so I do kind of need some more at some point.
I mean, we have used a lot of them. That's why I was saying it. But yeah. Although
by the way, oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was looking at fucking the Bone Reapers on the Games Workshop website, and there was just that guy that was on a horse that was a ghost horse filled with skulls. And I was
Ark and the Black.
That's the boy. And I was just like, that is... How much more skulls could it have? And the answer is none. None more skulls. Well, I mean, I could put more skulls on it, and I would if I had it. But it was just, I was blown away by the dedication to the aesthetic that boy had. It was awesome. But yeah, sorry, carry on, Dribble B.
As an aside, their favourite Pokemon is Scolipede, because cute bug horse.
Fair, yeah, fair. I get that, yeah.
Next up, Brandon. You have a convenience store chain made specifically for you guys. What's in it?
Come.
And a related question, what do you think will be the best/worst selling items in there?
Probably anything in the reduced style.
I don't know, it's a convenience store.
Convenience store. I would, I had a plan with a guy I was friends with at school that we would open up a double shop because he wanted to be a florist and I wanted to just hang out with comic books all day. And I was like, okay, we'll open like a double shop where half of it is flowers and half of it is comics. Yeah. And it'll be like a flomic shop.
A flomic shop, yeah.
It would be the best smelling comic book shop.
Right, and like the thing is, then you can kind of like do the boomer humor and be like, oh, getting a few early editions, might want to get some flowers for the missus because women don't like fun, that kind of bullshit. And then he'd get sales.
You could.
I mean, I wouldn't because that's bullshit, but...
Yeah, it's an option.
So mine would sell autographed pictures of dinosaurs.
Already seeing an issue?
Well, no, I just... I'd sign them.
Well, it's not really autographed then. That's just you've graffitied some pictures of dinosaurs.
Yeah, but I've been like,
You're scribbling.
what's the T, Rex? Ha ha ha. Never get tired of that joke, Snipe. You're so funny and also my best friend.
I can't believe you're so bad at dinosaur forgery.
What? I'm not. No, this is just off the top of my head. I would be really good at it if you gave me some time. Fucking accusations levied at me during this podcast. I honestly can't fucking cope with it. Ugh. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Okay, I have literally no
And
idea.
I think the least selling one would be Archaeopteryx, because it's a bitch.
Okay.
It's not. I actually quite like Archaeopteryx. I'm sorry. I just wanted to call it a bitch. What about you, Drummer Bum?
It'd have one of those, not Dinky Donuts. What's the now popular donut that I can't think of?
Dunkin' Donut.
Krusty Creams. Krusty
Krispy Kremes.
So I was like, let's have a shop full of cum, and you were like, I want to sell Krusty Kremes.
Krusty Kremes is the name of the cum shop.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
It wouldn't have one of those because they're bullshit. It would have a stand with Bird's Donuts in it instead, because I can't get them in Bristol and I can only get them in Derby, and I haven't been able to go to Derby because pandemic.
The world
stuff.
is ending.
World ending, and I want my donuts
And
because they're better.
Would it just be called Drummer Matt's Krusty Kreme?
No, it'd just be a normal shop, so no one else would know about them. And then, on the back of one of the aisles, it'd be there, and I'd just go in and buy all of them every day.
Are you making speakeasies for Bird's fucking donuts?
Hey, look, made
But
specifically
dude, you
for me.
don't
If I
need
want
to
to do
rent-
that, I'm allowed to. It's within the realms of the
Okay,
question.
yeah, you can do that, but however, I'm seeing a bit of a financial issue here, and this is me saying this because I brought home a 3-foot fucking squishmallow. I am not fantastic with money. You don't need to rent a storefront to just eat donuts from Birds.
The store. They made it for the store's being made for me. I'm not having to pay for it.
So
It's a
you're
gift, I
stealing
guess.
people's labor so you can eat donuts and not sell them to anyone.
Yeah, it's just like a CEO.
Oh, okay. You know what? that works.
that's
that
fine.
tracks.
That's within the realms of what's apparently allowed in this world.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Michael L.
Hello.
Favorite Pokemon? Scyther, but with an honourable mention for Clink.
Good.
Because it learns the move Gear Grind, and you can use the saying, that really grinds my gears, and just piss
fuck.
everyone off repeatedly all the time.
I'm pissed off already. Well done.
Yeah,
no,
right,
no,
well
that's
done.
fair.
That was
That's
good.
fair.
That was good.
Question for Snipe and Web. Now that you guys are getting into Age of Sigmar... Sigma? Let's go Sigma.
Sigma balls.
Sigma.
Oh, now got 'em.
Have you read or listened to any of the lore or backstory for it yet? And is there anything in
Read
particular
or
you like?
listened? Heck, I wrote that shit. Fucking. Oh,
Yeah, this thing.
Legit.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, this thing. Fuck you, Drama Man.
Oh yes, this thing we have to deal with.
Fuck off. Suck a dick.
Not much, in all honesty. I have read a few short stories here and there, so I've got a vague idea of what's going on that I've just kind of osmosed, and I've read
From
bits
what I
of.
picked up from Vermintide.
I have read a fair bit of the lore that's inside my. They're not codexes, but army books, whatever they're fucking called. The whatever the Age of Sigmar books are.
Yeah,
Battle
they
Tome.
used to be army books, but now I
Battle
assume
Tome.
they have
That's
a new
it.
name that's trademarkable.
Yeah, it's Battle Tome is the name.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that.
Yeah, I've been reading through the Seraphim Battle Tome, so I've picked up stuff from that. But yeah. It's actually something I kind of like about Age of Sigmar, which is that people aren't quite as uptight about the lore. I actually
Well, I
really
guess
like
it's
it.
all
10
kind
people
of. It's
play
not.
it.
You don't have the same history of lore because obviously there's bits that transfer over from the old world and the old setting, but it's all relatively new. So I guess there's less established stuff for people to get obsessed about.
Yeah, it just I don't know why. It just seems to be what they've done means that it just people just aren't as weird about it.
Yeah.
Which is a nice change of pace.
A quick recommendation then, if you do want to hear a bit more though, the Realm Slayer audio drama series. It's apparently a good intro to the Age of Sigmar because it follows someone from the old world who's transitioned over there or whatever.
cool.
Is that Gotrek and Felix, the Realm Slayer stuff?
That would. It doesn't say here, but that seems from my memory of the old world stuff.
Just because Gotrek's
Possibly.
a Slayer, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I just assumed from that it probably would be.
Quite possibly. It has Brian Blessed.
That's the Godfrey from Felix, yeah.
Well, there we
I
go.
mean,
Yeah.
like, I really appreciate the recommendation, but I am already partially deaf. So I don't know, just like okay, I haven't...
In my head, when he records audiobook, like, if he cocks up, he just swears loudly and carries on, and then they don't edit that bit out because it's just Brian Blessed.
I
So
would
you
listen to
can't
so
edit
many
him.
more audiobooks and be so much deaferer than I already am.
Yeah.
If that was legit, I
mean-
would love that.
I'd say you have a volume control on whatever device you're listening to, but that doesn't help with Brian Blessed.
It doesn't. He transcends.
Yeah. He's just the volume that he
Noise.
is, regardless of what volume settings you have.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Ben.
Hello.
I wanted to ask whether any of you have watched any of the Games Workshop podcast interviews with members of the design team. Which
No.
I didn't even realise was a thing, to be honest.
Yes,
I did, but the thing is, I am terrible at watching anything and doing anything at all. So, cut me some slack. Stuff sucks, basically.
I always mean to, but I never get around to it.
Yeah, no.
A lot of the stuff we cover is like old stuff, so hearing stuff about new things doesn't tend to come up that much. So it's there's also the whole thing of like we do this stuff as a hobby and we do it as like work. So
we don't want to get too ingrained in the work.
there is a set amount of Warhammer stuff that I'm willing to consume because and
you don't want to like burn out on it.
Yeah, because it's very
tricky.
But if you did want to listen to one, they specifically suggest an excellent interview with senior artist Phil Moss, who's. But so in this interview, apparently, one of the things he mentioned is that he does artwork stuff for various covers of things. So he did the artwork for the cover of the Shadow Spear box set.
Oh, nice.
And he talks about all of the characters in the picture will probably be dead in about 30 seconds.
That's
So this leads to a question. How long in universe do you think a Warhammer battle would take place over? Say 1,000 or 2,000 points worth of minis. So you're playing it over, 6 rounds, but it's not quite like in, D&D, a round is 6 seconds, and you can sort of be like, so a fight takes a few minutes or whatever. It doesn't have that, like, explicitly part of it.
Well, I mean, like, boxing, like, rounds last 3 minutes, which doesn't sound like much, but a fight, those things last forever, even when they don't. So,
well, you think about it, like what's actually happening. Like you'll have
the thing is, it's like it's difficult because you can't help but compartmentalize a lot of what your different squads are doing, which slows it down. But the thing is, in reality, if this was an actual skirmish, everything would be happening at once.
Yeah. Think about it. People running from one place to another and then shooting, and then they're doing that at most 6 times. It's probably not lasting more than a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the build-up, if it's anything like, historical battles
when
or
they
whatever,
face
build-up
off in the
takes,
field
but the actual,
and stuff.
once they start punching each other or whatever. Yeah, I probably agree with you. Probably, not much more than... I mean, sieges and of things like that, notwithstanding, because, that can last forever.
Yeah.
But just
I'd say
normal...
just a normal kind of like skirmish kind of thing. I think that would... I don't think it'd last an hour.
Yeah, I think you're
Because
lucky
especially because you're running in armor, you're swinging shit around, which is very heavy. People take like 1 or 2 hits. If we're talking like Space Marines, then probably take a bit longer. But I think Space Marines would wipe up pretty fucking quick because they are shock troops.
I think it's you'd be lucky. I think it would be rare that any of them in real world terms would last more than like 5 minutes. Like I think 10 minutes at the absolute outset to some of the more things.
It'll feel like 6 hours to the people in it, but
of course, like everything in the tabletop game, everything is an abstraction. So it's kind of hard to. I think intentionally so. They don't attribute like an actual real life time. I have a vague recollection that maybe it's in Rogue Trader. It does actually give a rough thing of like, how long a turn actually represents in universe. But I might be misremembering one of the other million old rule books I'd read. So I may be.
I think we can probably agree on putting an absolute upper limit on it is that it would definitely take less time than the amount of time it takes to play it in Warhammer.
Yeah.
So, like, if your fight takes an hour to play the game, if it was real, it would absolutely be less than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It will take less time than it takes me to move 70 grots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Cooking
right.
Christmas dinner would take less time.
Yeah. Right. Speeding up ever so slightly. Dean, what fictional food would I want to eat?
Yes.
Gach. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to eat a bowl of hot worms?
Everyone.
Snipe agrees, I can tell.
Well, I mean, they call it gach because when you eat it, you're like, gach. Not fantastic, but not bad. Slimy yet satisfying or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. And again, a quick question. Have we tried 7TV?
What?
It is 7TV. It is a skirmish miniatures game produced by Crooked Dice.
Oh.
I think the way that I went "what" when I heard it probably says
Yeah,
how familiar I am with this thing.
What? Yes, I've collected it for years.
No, I have never heard of this thing in my life.
Oh, it looks quite interesting. It's the gimmick is that your games are a scrapyard episode of a 70s cult TV show. So characters are obvious archetypes, and games are full of like random events like wobbly sets where you move over a terrain piece and shooting on location
misheard
and things.
This sounds a little like Chroma Squad that was like that, but for Sentai shows. But that was a videoed game. Sounds similar. I will have a look at that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's about apparently a very, very weird game steeped in love for great classic TV.
Beautiful.
Next up, Seamus.
Hello.
Ahoy. What are your favourite foods to break fast with?
I usually have like a fucking protein shake, because I'm bad at eating breakfast. So I'll have like a protein shake and maybe some fruit.
Sounds relatively healthy.
Yeah, it's what I eat the rest of the fucking day, isn't it?
You know, it's probably my favourite, but I just can never be asked to make it first thing in the morning.
Scrambled eggs.
No, I really like porridge.
I bought you some like fucking pot noodle porridge things where you just put hot water in it and all.
You can make overnight porridge.
Overnight oats, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that thing.
I bought a cooking book like a little while ago, so I'm sure they've got overnight oats in there.
But yeah, I really like it, but it's just usually just in the morning I'm just like, because I don't sleep or wake up well.
That's basically why I have protein shakes. Because like when I'm depressed, which is all the time because I have depression, it's like, if it's not just I'll get myself like a shake, then I just won't eat breakfast. So I'd rather, like, it's got vitamins and shit in it, so I'm fine.
So I just eat fucking shreddies in the morning,
This is okay. So this is a little bit of a tangent, but relevant. So I went out like a few days, like over a few days. I went out a few times, and got some little bits of shopping and stuff. And for over those 3 days, Wib was like, "Oh yeah, I need cereal," and I was like, I just got you cereal. And he was like, yeah, I ate it all. So I went and I got him 3 fucking jumbo boxes of cereal. And I literally came in, I dropped it in front of him and was like, run out of that, bitch. And he did.
To which he did, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to.
It's like he eats it or something. It's fucking weird.
It's like you
perverse.
It's like you eat cereal every day.
I ate cereal today for the first time in like 3 months.
Well, okay. You are an outlier. Anyway, Matthew, what is your breakfast?
Go to a
choice?
choice. I mean, today I had scrambled eggs and avocado because
because
we
you
had
hate
leftover avocado
good
from
food?
Doritos we had the other night.
Oh, avocado is the devil's ball sack.
It's excellent, but I can see why you wouldn't like it.
Thank you.
But usually cereals, basically every day.
What kind of cereal?
Well, vaguely healthy in the week, and then you get choosing cereals at the weekend, which is
like
a phrase that I don't think
Mateys?
anyone else chooses, but growing up, we always had to have boring cereals, and then at the weekend we could choose what cereals we wanted.
I was
so
never
it just
allowed
became
anything.
choosing cereals, and all sugary cereals is now choosing cereals to me.
Yeah, okay.
No, I was never allowed any sugary cereal because, like, my father was obsessed with my teeth health, and he would like stand over me as I spent like 5 minutes brushing my teeth every day. Which turns out it actually takes enamel off your teeth and weakens them. Just little fun fact out there.
If you brush them too much.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I had to. So yeah, we basically. I remember at this private school, I would go to school with some really shit sandwiches on like wholemeal bread. And there was like my friend Jenny always had like these really nice sandwiches on white bread, and we would swap lunch every single day. It was the best part of the fucking day. I loved it. It was so good. But yeah, I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, white bread's my favorite. But yeah, no, that's a really good idea. I think like, you know, that's just good for kids because it's like it's not like that it's completely verboten. It's like, you know, you can have it. You just need to know that it's a sometimes food.
Yeah, and
which is something that I was never taught.
Being like a grown up, I could very easily go out and buy the like triple chocolate crunch or whatever, which is just lumps of chocolate like, for breakfast. I could get that every day, but I'm like, no, that's a weekend thing, which I think is the only thing stopping me from doing that all the time.
The worst part about being an adult, or like realizing that you are an adult, is going, oh, I can't go and eat like 8 packets of jelly beans, and then you're like, yes, I fucking can, and then you do.
Yeah, and then feel awful about it for
and then you're just like, well, I feel bad.
Large time. Yeah. But yeah, cereals, breakfast, ultimate king. Mikhail.
Hello.
If you were to make a buddy cop movie or series, which 2 fictional characters would you star?
Well, I mean, Theodore Rex already exists, so what's the fucking point? So like buddy cop movie.
I guess you can pick two characters from wherever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was too open a question for me to be able to think of. I now can't name 2 fictional characters.
kind of like I'm stuck with the Punisher and Kamala Khan because I think she could like stop him from being such a stick up his ass prick, and he'd be like, maybe, hey, look, you know, like little Lisa's gone, but you know, I can still make a difference in this world, and I can positively influence this young girl's life in a way that I didn't get to have, in the way that my life was taken from me. And then they kill so many people. It'd be really cool.
How about how about
Blue from Jurassic World and the Punisher? Yeah.
No, I've got a better one.
Okay.
The Punisher. I actually like the idea of the hyper-violent thing. Although you could include like the Doomslayer or anything, any hyper-violent character. No, wait. See where I'm going?
No.
Buddied up with Kermit the Frog.
Oh my! The Punisher and Kermit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Kermit
then
would know how to deal with that because he deals with Miss Piggy.
Dude. This would be amazing.
Yeah. He'd be good.
Because okay, so it starts with Frank being like, because there is like a couple of like interpretations of the Punisher where he's a cop, and like he could be, there could be like, Castle, I'm sick of your shit. You play by your own rules. You're a loose cannon. I'm assigning you a partner. And he's like, I don't need a partner. And he's like, I'm getting you a partner.
Why is the Punisher sliced alone now?
Because I am very tired. And he's like, I don't need a partner. And he's like, yes, you do. If you don't, you're off the force. And then comes Kermit. He goes, hi ho. And he's like, I don't trust you, Frog. And then he's like, I'm not gonna commit any crime. And then the Punisher.
Okay, no. Let's just end it there. That was the highlight. Let's move on. We're moving on to the next question.
I need this in my life so hard.
Okay. Mikhail's, apparently we also asked about favourite pastries at some point.
I did.
Their favourite is an eclair. Ooh. Or what they call lightning, but it's, eclair.
That sounds pretty good
choice.
Actually.
Eclairs are game changing.
Baked treats
if you have like good ones.
I always used to like them frozen. Cream eclairs. You just crunch on them, they're great.
Well, that doesn't
seem horrifying.
Okay. All right, let's move on to speed
Anything
round because it's getting late.
Okay.
Agent Sinister.
Hello.
So they don't know if Star Trek counts as a fantasy setting, but they would also, as someone else has, go with the Klingon food, but in particular gach.
Yeah.
I'm worried by the amount of people that want to eat live worms.
They acknowledge that it would be probably horrible, but then at least they could say they'd tried it.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I would genuinely like to know what blood wine tastes like. I will say that.
Well, it probably tastes like blood and gets you drunk.
I mean, probably.
Then you get blood
I
on it.
believe that is literally what it is, but I'd like to try it, you know?
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Honourable mention to the food in Final Fantasy 15 because it's
I've heard
fantastic, like most anime food does.
It's
Monster
out.
Hunter World food looks amazing.
The
It does,
final.
doesn't it? Although it'll be really hairy, so.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Anyway, yeah. Cool, good.
That's
good.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Kai.
Hello.
A short question, in case we haven't mentioned it enough. I guess they might be joining the podcast relatively late. What's the band you're in? Because you're always talking about it, but I don't know which band it is.
We are in a band called Less Than Jake.
We are in a band called Fighting Evil is Cool.
Yeah.
It is a ska band.
In the band is in the broadest sense, given that we haven't met each other in the last year because of
Yeah.
But I think we're still going.
Yeah, we're technically on hiatus when the world isn't undergoing a deadly plague. These days we tend to play like a gig year.
Every year, kind of like on the anniversary of us first forming. So
Never. I think we did one on that, and we've never done it.
I mean,
since.
it's kind of like the anniversary. Regardless of the time, the one we play a year is referred to as the anniversary gig. You absolute silly goose. Pardon my language.
But you can find all of our stuff online.
Where it's on
everywhere.
Spotify, on YouTube. That's literally everywhere.
Yeah,
I know.
it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube. You can buy it on like Amazon and Google Play and iTunes.
which does benefit
everywhere.
us.
It's
so,
everywhere.
Yeah.
The real question from Kai is: have you ever? And I don't understand any of this. Have you ever heard of Turnip 28? And if not, it's all about turnips.
Yes,
I have no idea if I'm being offensive towards a broad group of people. I apologise if we are. I don't know what this thing is.
No, Turnip 28 is
The horrifying like dog whistle you've just like broadcast.
It's a project thing that is
Not that I'm making any assumptions about you, Kai. I don't want to imply that either. But
there's
something sinister about the phrase. It's all about turnips.
All about the turn.
Sorry,
it's a fantasy setting that some guy is putting together, and I believe he's currently working out a rule set for it. But it's got this aesthetic of like all these of like knights and things, but they've got stuff growing in their armor.
Turnips
and vegetables feature very heavily in like the aesthetics and things. It's a really interesting and cool kind of aesthetic. Yeah, I'm aware of it. I follow the main guy on Twitter, so yeah. I keep a vague eye on it because it's got a cool kind of look to it. Yeah.
Nice. Cyber Sandwich.
Hello.
Just wondering what Snipe thought of the new Resident Evil material. What with the werewolves and the evil Redfield and the tall vampire lady and such.
Okay, it's not evil Redfield though. He doesn't have an evil bone in his body yet.
But he has a goatee.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I've examined every inch of that man and found nothing but nectar. How fucking dare you? Fucking goatee. Oh my god. Fucking hell.
Everybody like tall lady.
Oh, Madame D or whatever the hell. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I haven't heard it said out loud and I'm very, like, disappointingly English speaking. So, yeah. She's great. She's 9'6" with the boots on.
Yeah, legit. As a monster, that's like a really cool and original idea.
It's brilliant. It's like big woman, nice big woman. I just realised how I sound.
Oh,
And we all just want to be the guy who gets to see a giant woman.
A giant woman.
Cyber Sandwich's thoughts on it, which I think are probably quite apt. It looks really promising, but Capcom is a vile eldritch monstrosity that is not to be trusted under any circumstances, so I'm cautious.
This is very true, but they have generally done pretty well with Resident Evil recently. So, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not a Resident Evil person, so you know.
No, neither am I, but that's why the question was very directly aimed at Snipe. It is known. You hopeful, Snipe?
Yes, I'm very hopeful, and like I'm just happy I get to see Chris Redfield again because he's my husband and I love him very much.
Is this a remake or is this a new sequel?
No, this is Resident Evil 8 / Resident Evil The Village because the VII is incorporated into the title, and everyone's kind of like, we don't know what the fuck. And it is a direct continuation from Resident Evil 7, which was the first person with Ethan fucking... I can't remember his last name. So it's basically just the same kind of format. So you're playing as Ethan again. I will not be able to play it because I can't deal with first-person horror games like that, with combat and things like that. Just can't deal with it. If it was third-person, I would definitely give it a go. But it's definitely more in the same vein because Resident Evil games seem to have split down the middle where there's third-person action horror, and then there's first-person, like gore, like, fucking, like, hammer horror, just garbage, like, going on and shit like that, which you just don't want to see in first-person. So I really am looking forward to watching a quiet Let's Play of it.
Yeah,
but I won't be able to play it in person.
Resident Evil 7 was a game that I was like, this is really cool, but it's not the type of game I like to play, so I will never play any more of it.
Exactly my problem, because I was like, yeah, no, this is fantastic, but I never want to play it.
A very well-made game I will not play.
Yeah. That's how I view Resident Evil 8. It's probably going to be real good.
Yeah.
But I ain't ever going to play it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, there is that split because they've been doing the remakes of the older stuff, and I think that's
I really would like a remake of Resi 5, but fucking hell, do they have to, like...
Do they really need a remake?
No, but I just...
It's like Resi 4, they're doing a remake of that, and I don't really understand
honestly,
it.
like, Code Veronica, I understand.
Yeah.
Because Code Veronica is a lot of people's favourite. It is good, but it does have some seriously questionable transy kind of, like, cross-dressing elements.
Oh, shit, yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah, like, mild spoiler for, like, a 25-year-old fucking game. But yeah, so it... and it's also kind of, like... I would be a little concerned, even though it is one of the best games. So, and Chris Redfield's in it. I want to play as my baby, because... can't. But yeah, no, that's my thoughts on it. Like, it looks really good. I hope it's really good. I just want to see Chris exist for a bit, seeing as now he's like dressing like the Punisher, which I'm like, someone at Capcom likes our channel. Thank you, someone at Capcom.
Okay, good. Next up, Daffyd.
Hello.
What did you all, and by you all I assume they mean Web, what did you all make of the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer?
I'm sure it will be a very fun movie. Yeah.
If Gangster's Paradise doesn't show up at one point during the fighting, then it's going to be the worst movie and it will ruin my fucking life.
I have... when it comes to like King Kong versus Godzilla, I am always a little bit bewildered by it because as a Godzilla fan, I have seen the original one and
it can't ever, like, the new one will never be able to eclipse its greatness.
No, it's a bit shit.
That's the point.
No, it's the original one is fine, but if you're going to point, cause it's the third Godzilla film that was made. So it's very early on, and them still trying to find the feet of how to make the kaiju kind of monster v monster movie. And if you want to point to like a good early one, then Lord know would I ever point to it. I actually when the trailer went out, I actually watched the original movie again, just to like see if my memory of it being a very average at best sort of like movie from the era. And so because that's like my knowledge of the original one, it's always perplexed me that people really want a new one, because it's like,
well, I mean, especially with like Godzilla being kind of like more geared, it's just a CGI action movie. I can kind of understand it. It's like the whole like the Watch thing, where it's like, yeah, it's gonna be kind of different. I mean, Monkey have axe. I think one Monkey, one Chomp Key. I'm so there.
But the thing is, I do like, even though it kind of perplexes me on like an intellectual level, I know it's because it's two big name things having a crossover event. That's cool. Okay, I get it. So I was watching. It's like, yeah, I'm sure this will be fun enough. Although it does kind of feel like it seems a bit strange, like some of the setup they've got going, and it seems like they're unambiguously making out Godzilla to be the antagonistic force this time around, because you kind of have to when doing that. Whereas the previous Legendary films have sort of established Godzilla as being akin to Gamera in the 90s movies, where he's like a guardian of the earth, not of people. He could give a shit about people. but like this is his turf and he's going to protect it, you know. So I don't know. It's something I will absolutely watch. I am always happy to see a new giant monster movie, but I'm not like hyped like everyone, like everyone else for whatever reason. It's just like I'm sure it'll be fine, and I want to see it. But yeah. My excitement for it is the excitement for a giant monster movie, not for that movie in particular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair. All right. Speed round, last 3 questions.
Okay.
Right.
Gecko Knox. I was
Hello.
wondering if you guys are aware of / have read Transmetropolitan.
No.
I have heard of it, and I've heard very good things.
It's a comic series meant to be quite good. But I don't think any of us have anything to say, I'm afraid. But
No,
it's meant to be
I
good.
do need
so
to
if
check
you
it
want
out.
to
Thanks
online,
for,
apparently it can be read online easily, quite for free. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, I
Well,
do have to check that out.
yeah.
It's on my big old pile of recommendations.
CJ Bones.
Hello.
Wondering if you've had anything to do with playing or anything else. War Machine.
Played the there's a PC game we played for a bit, which
That
was,
fucking sucks.
and it fucking sucks, which I don't feel is fair to say. Oh, I played this PC game and War Machine sucks.
No, the PC game is just absolute hot garbage.
It's hot ass.
Fucking absolute fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I played it again like last year to see if it was as bad as I remembered.
And it was shit garbage for
worse.
days.
It was worse than I remembered.
It matures like a fine bit of milk.
But no, I like some of the models. I do like the Warjack models.
They
Yeah,
are cool.
well, they do say that figured Snipe might be into it because of the Warjacks, because they've got a Dreadnought vibe about them.
You figured that I do like the look of them, so yeah, no, spot on there. But I mean, the thing is, it's like 40k.
And I also
so
think
it's-
you might know about it because Lord knows Wibbs painted more obscure minis before.
This is very, very true. Yeah,
I've never
subtle dig, but accurate.
It's Privateer Press that make it, I believe, and I don't think I've ever actually painted a Privateer Press model.
Well, there you go. Get on.
Somehow, I've just never done that.
Look what you've done. Thanks.
Cheers, CJ. No, I'm aware that it exists, but I've never had
Yeah.
anything to do with it. Very last up, Zingbo.
Oh. Hello.
We have a recommendation, which isn't too far left field from what we're already familiar with. Wibb has mentioned that he's painting up an Age of Sigmar army this year and giving the game a go. I suggest also giving Warcry, which is the Age of Sigmar skirmish game, a go. Apparently it's a really great system.
I like the art for it.
I have heard it's really good. Yeah, I don't know why. Apparently, my brain just always works in I have to do the big army for the big game, and for some reason, I just lose interest in like smaller games, and I don't know why. It's probably because I've just had my mind broken by Warhammer 40,000.
I think it's
Yeah,
because
probably.
we've spent so many years getting involved with it and, like, you know, but spending money, painting models, there's so much time invested. It's like, that's anything else is like, well, I'll have to relearn rules, or, well, I'll have to, like, become familiar with different things. So it's like, as much as you might like a different kind of tabletop RPG kind of like, or like, you know, war game thing, you probably won't really ever be able to get into it purely not just because of a financial kind of thing, but just because that's a lot of mental space to apply to something that is probably equally as overwhelming as 40k's lore, rules, and everything else involved. Or something, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, it is actually a good thing. There are, I mean, there's some of the models for Warcry are fucking beautiful. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of these little skirmish games. I've never played one of them. Like either that or, you know, Necromunda or is it Mordheim, which used to be the fantasy one before fantasy wasn't fantasy.
yeah, there's a lot of weird like spin-offs that all kind of fulfill different niches.
Yeah, very keen to give one of them a go one day. That is it. That is the end of the backlash of questions.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for your questions, everybody. But
Yeah.
yeah, we unfortunately will be having to just have one question.
Yeah, like I said, really appreciate getting the emails, but it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. So one question per email, and any recommendations
And
or
an
anything that are put
answer
forth.
for a question I will ask,
Yes, that is also allowed.
which is, who would you like to see Kirby eat and then become a Kirby version of?
Good. I appreciate it. But yeah, so
So
one
who would you like to see wearing Kirby like a suit? Is what you're asking.
Yeah. Who do I want to see in a Kirby onesie with their dick hanging out?
Okay. So yes, one question per person, and any recommendations we will get, and we will hear them, but we won't say them on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, just so you know.
Yes. But yes, thank you so much for listening to this fucking whatever it was. I'll hopefully have at least slept a little bit next time. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, take care and stay fresh cheese bags.
Can't really follow that up. Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.